Hopefully we're live now. The audio, I think, should be working. So hello everyone. The goal for this stream is going to be pretty simple. Just grind the mega boss in the void until I can't anymore, or until I decide to stop. Let's turn that down. This lag's a bit ridiculous right now. Let's see. That would be it. Let's pause that. Hello. Alright, I think I should be live. Man. Might be really laggy today. Hopefully it's not too laggy. I'll try decreasing if it gets too bad. Is the chance of getting a dev classified the same as getting a normal classified? Actually, because of it being limited to a slower key, it's probably more common. I'd say getting a classified from here is easier than getting the classified from the void. Mostly because more people have unboxed from here, and also that makes sense in terms of how the rarities have worked so far for developer crates. So, yeah. But yeah, it should just be me grinding the final boss over and over again. And I'm trying to get chat set up on my phone since it's not up yet. Yeah, things are lagging today. Good. It's been a while since I last did the final boss, but this seems to be worse than normal. Let me go check my task manager just to make sure I don't have any random background tasks taking up too much. I love this boss's music. Yeah, the music is pretty fire. Alright, that pillar should be going down. And I have no idea where the final boss is. So, I think we're just going to chill until I figure out where it went. Ah! That would explain it. Oh, man. Sometimes Ghost Simulator is a little bit weird. But yeah. Oh, it's glitched. Yeah, for some reason game lagged out, decided to break the final boss today. You know, standard Ghost Simulator jankiness. Yeah, it isn't too bad. This actually will probably help me in the long run since it won't be able to hit me with any of its attacks up there. Like, unless it comes down, I don't think any of its attacks will bring it down. So, yeah. Basically, it's free at this point since the freeze attack won't actually do any damage. It's very weird that it did that, but whatever. Anyways, I do have 7 glitchy boss gum to use on this fight. I'll probably use all of them and then get into some of my ghostly boss gum before the stream's over. So that's going to be at least 2 hours. It'll probably be closer to a 4-hour stream, so using about 16 boss gum. Once the final glitched down, and it because the game probably thought it was in the still in the ball phase. Yeah, Ghost Simulator. Sometimes it's the boss just kind of glitches out. It's has to do with the amount of lag that goes on during this fight, which is caused from an unknown reason. So yeah, I usually don't have too much difficulties, but the lag has been a lot worse recently, for some reason. Might have to do with me streaming, but I haven't usually had this much difficulty even when I was streaming, so I don't quite know. Like, this frame rate's a bit slow. It has to do with, it's probably some part of the yeah, I think it happened because we could skip the boss times. The third time we didn't skip and it doesn't break. Yeah, you know, it could always be that. That's completely possible within the within games for it to just break because you skipped a cutscene. I don't know. I'll try that next time, I guess. See if it's better that time. But like, I normally, even when normal play, I do occasionally get lag spikes like that, even when I'm just like grinding ghosts in like normal areas like the back door. How long is the final boss? It usually takes me about 15 minutes to complete, and 14 to 15 is where most people estimate it's time to be at. So yeah. 15 minutes-ish. Yeah, on top of that 17 minutes, you also have a 2.5 minute later. Along with cutscenes and the time you have to wait, that's the total 15 minutes. So yeah. Usually when people are talking about how long it takes to do something, they're including the whole time, including cutscenes in between and all that fun stuff, so yeah. But anyways, it hasn't gotten too bad recently, so yeah, that's pretty good. Anyways, next update for Ghost Simulator is actually going to be pretty big. According to stuff that the developers have said, the next 3 updates will be really big in Ghost Simulator, so that's like the next month and a half are going to be good updates, which is basically all of summer will have good content, which is pretty fun. According to what they've said, it'll probably introduce a few new NPCs, with some quest lines and perks and stuff like that, so that will be cool. Along with that, Mackie was talking about killing off some of the NPCs, so we're going to have a bit of lore extension in one of the next few updates, which is going to be pretty nice to see. Alright, there we go. Dead. But yeah, the lore is getting extended with a lot of the NPCs dying off, and then a lot new quest lines and perks for people who want that, I would guess. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do in the next few updates. It's also going to be pretty interesting to see what new games they release, since they're currently working on 3 new ones, one of which is the Accelerator one, which the developers got into for Roblox, so they're making a big game for that. And then they're also working on 2 side new games, so that's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that, with those. I should probably rebirth pretty quickly then. I would chill until the update, since you can always rebirth after the update. yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing currently, is chilling on my rebirths until after the update. And then if there's no real new content for me to explore there, I'll rebirth and grind a little bit before the next update. But yeah. And the green eye should be falling really shortly. Man, I'm currently like 0 for 0 on avoiding that lava attack. This will definitely be a little bit of my slower final boss killings, probably closer to the 17-minute time, just because of the lag and the fact that the boss is hovering and I'm not doing too well. But yeah. Should I grind summer keys for summer event when it comes out, or should I open crates? Usually grinding, if you have time, grinding keys is both really fun, and actually somewhat rewarding, since you can get pretty lucky with some of those unboxings. I would grind personally, but, you know, opening crates does have its own, benefits. Alright, this final boss should be dropping the fourth phase of it now, meaning we just have 2 more phases left. But yeah. I don't know if they'll be called summer keys, but they probably will. I think it's probably going to be more of a puzzle theme, based off the stuff I've seen. Mackie, or Coven asking for puzzle themed boards. Actually, one of the developers' inventories has a, key in it that looks puzzly. So probably going to be a puzzle themed summer event, which will be cool to see. It's either that or a pet one, since Mackie did a little bit of developing on pet themed stuff like bowls and other like pet related items like brushes and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how those go. Yeah, getting those boss bags, actually a lot of people have decent amounts. It doesn't take too long to get, you just kind of boss hop until you find a lower server. Or you can even just AFK in a server and just kind of come back every few minutes to get it. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of people actually have done a lot of grinding in this game. Like, for instance, there's tons of people with multiple of the best items. It's just ridiculous to see how much better some people are than even people like me who you think play a lot. I really don't play too much of Ghost Simulator, like, comparatively. Like, if you compare me to leaderboard, I'm like 10 times worse than anyone on the leaderboard. Okay, where are you? There you are. He was only rebirth 1. Yeah, sometimes some of the better people haven't rebirthed too many times, because there's a lot of content to explore even once you're maxed, and if you have good enough pets, there's no real reason that you see to rebirth the first few times. There's also alts, for instance. I know a lot of the better players have alts that they use, which aren't going to be as high of rebirth. Boss has to be falling pretty soon, like 3 more shots or something. Or maybe not. But there you go. That's the first boss of mini. Time to go use a boss bait. There you go. Just get a few extra keys. Pretty easy. How do you dodge the giant sword attack? Running away. In that instance, like the last fight I just did, it was glitched, so I wouldn't really get hit by any of that anyways. But if you run away and aren't inside the circle, if usually running towards it usually gets you out. But yeah, it's some of those attacks are harder to dodge than others. Anyway, it's time for another one. So yeah, this is basically what the whole stream will be, is me just doing these boss after boss. But yeah. If I do 4 hours of streaming like I'm planning on for this boss, I should have 756 plus 9 of these, 54. I should have around 110 blocks bet keys after the end of the stream, which will definitely be pretty solid. So yeah. That's the goal of 4 hours of streaming final boss, so 9 glitchy boss gums, and then, or 7 glitchy boss gums, and then 9 ghostly boss gums. But yeah, let's see if the boss glitches at all while we don't skip. I mean, it could just have gotten it out of its system, the lag. But it's also completely possible that not skipping will change something. But yeah, that's a lot of, that is definitely a lot of keys for most people. For me, I'm used to seeing numbers with people having 200 boss gum, which, just saying that out loud, you see how ridiculous that is, that people have 200 of boss gum. But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Alright, I realize now why I skipped these dialogues. It's a little bit long. Okay, I give up. We're skipping. And straight off the bat, we have the boss glitched again. Although this one's the more common one, where it just kind of chills up there until it wants to come down. Not too impactful, until like I get rid of all the pillars, of course. But yeah, you were like 5 seconds away from the end wall. Yeah, I'm very impatient, so yeah, maybe I should have just waited, but I'm quite impatient, so you know. Alright. Now we kind of just chill until it comes down, I guess. Yikes. Yeah, that it comes down once it starts spinning at you, which can take a while, since that is kind of you're just waiting for an attack RNG. If you do have overcharge, you can do like 10% every minute or so, which isn't too helpful, but at the same time, it's better than nothing. Yeah, this is probably definitely the one of the most annoying things to happen in the game, since there's really nothing you can do, and you just kind of have to chill there for a few minutes to an hour, or however long it takes. It doesn't take an hour. By that time, you'd get out of the boss fight. Eventually, it does come down, but as I said, it does require the specific attack of it, and sometimes that attack just doesn't want to come. I think the worst I've ever seen is it actually lasted like that for like a solid 4 minutes or something, and it was just ridiculous. But yeah. Yeah, if you should choose like Master Hunter a few more, additional times, it really isn't too helpful. The only time it'd really help would be during events, but like it would be kind of hilarious to be able to do more than just 5 streams at a time. Doop doop doop. Yeah, it only really helps the Master Hunter, and having more than like 3 streams at a time only helps with events. But anyways, let's get rid of these since I don't have anything else to do currently. But like, yeah. Should I go for Master Hunter or Lucky Vision? Go for your Master Hunter. Hey! We got the boss back. That's a welcome surprise. I thought we'd be sitting there forever. But nope, we got it back. So yeah. That's good. Yeah, some things are best left unimagined. I don't think anyone's missing a 1,000 times jumped gum. Alright. Well, this jump at least I'll come back on. So I don't need to worry about it being gone forever. I think that only wasted like a maximum of like a minute and a half. Not the worst glitch of that I've ever experienced. Ouch. But yeah. Hello! Just doing the Ghost Simulator boss over and over again. Kind of just chilling right now. I would have normally rebirthed, but big updates coming out tomorrow. I think, based off what the devs have said, the next 3 updates are going to be pretty big. Definitely going to include some new perks, and also going to kill off a few of the NPCs for lore. So it'll definitely be pretty interesting to see the next few updates. So I don't want to rebirth, so I'm kind of prepared for them. So yeah. So found something else funner to do, I guess. That pillar should be falling about now. Probably like 5 hits left or something. I definitely miscounted. Alright, like 2 hits on that. And there you go. Yeah, the boss is very good at comboing. That laser attack is ridiculously good at it. Since, like, you can also, these ghosts are good at it, too. Fortunately, I do have heavy armor, so I'm not knocked back as much by them. But at the same time, they're still a bit annoying since they knock you off your headboard. Yeah, the green girl, or green hologram, whatever. It is part of the lore. I think the best theory, and probably the one I'm going to stand by, is someone in Discord, since the Mackie mentioned that both them and the Rebirth NPC have been mentioned in dialogue before, it's an alternate version of Shelly. To go with the alternate version of Bo, that is the Rebirth NPC, was like a theory someone created, because according to the developers' dialogue in the Void, Bo was originally supposed to be a form of Joker, and Shelly was supposed to be an Alice, to match like Alice in Wonderland, and so that kind of makes sense, combined with the fact that Bo, an alternate version of Bo could definitely be evil like the Rebirth NPC. And then Alice already thinks that she is a ghost the first time we meet her. She could have gone full into a ghost mode if transformed by like Bo, the evil Bo of Joker. That's the new Rebirth NPC. Like reading through the dev dialogue, it kind of makes sense. Along with stuff like Mackie has mentioned that we already know who Rebirth NPC and the green hologram are. Man, I haven't once managed to stay on one of those platforms. But yeah, no, they spawn every once in a while. It's kind of something that got added in the Rebirth update with lore and stuff. Adding an NPC that does that. Yeah, they're pretty weird to see. But yeah, it's part of the Rebirth lore, with the green hologram starting to show up, which is a ghost, according to Mackie. So yeah. Yep. It spawns in Area 51. It also spawns in some parts of the Ghost World, most notably inside the castle part of it. But yeah, there's also a few other places for it. I think it spawns... I'm trying to remember where else it spawns. There's a list in the wiki. But yeah, it's definitely part of the lore, and I think it makes sense for it to be Alice from like a different Ghost Simulator parallel universe thingy. Like, since Tanya's come from like a parallel universe, it actually matches up with the developer Cone K, since that's kind of a NPC based off of her. But yeah. Yeah, the one in the Area 51 is probably the easiest one to spawn. See, since it isn't off out of the way, the area's small, and it's kind of contrasts pretty nicely. Comparing that, and you also need to spend a little bit of time in Area 51. But yeah, it spawns in the junkyard, I think. Yeah, it spawns like 4 different places in like almost all the worlds. So it's not too hard to find, but at the same time, it's pretty weird to see. Ice Cave. Yeah, I think there's one there. As I said, the wiki does have a full list or probably has a list of all of them. I shouldn't say full. There's definitely going to be spots, since it only spawns very quickly, where it just spawns in an obscure spot somewhere. But yeah, there's a list in there. Imagine you got a classified board first try from anonymous loot bag. That would be pretty cool. I know people have actually done that. There is someone from the Discord who has gotten like 5 or 6 of the classified from the anonymous loot bag, which is ridiculous. But it has happened. It's quite funny. But yeah. No, the lore that came with the Rebirth update was definitely very complicated, and also like all the lore that came from the Void. We're just now coming through it and making sense of all of it, which at this point we kind of have, but also haven't really yet. Oh yeah, Reflection is really cool. I think Reflection is one of most people's favorites, just since it's super basic in coloring, that it doesn't throw anyone off, but at the same time it looks very cool. It's pretty awesome. Can't wait for the whatever update comes tomorrow. Even if I'm not going to be there to get down to it right first off, it's definitely going to introduce a lot of new stuff, I think. Based off what I've seen, it's going to be probably include either a lot of lore elements or a new. It's definitely going to include some lore elements, but it might also include an NPC with like new perks. Which new perks in Ghost Simulator is always awesome, especially since what the developers were asking for community feedback on what Rebirth perks they wanted. So yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're going to ever do another 2x luck event. Just since Gum's been introduced, they haven't really. Every time they do one, it kind of breaks the game in a sense. Since people then have, I think it's 11 times luck on getting classifieds, which is a bit ridiculous. I think that luck is kind of game breaking, so I don't think they'll be doing that anymore. Oh yeah, Hoshi Blade, really hard to get and also kind of cool looking. I need to get it at some point. I don't think I'll be doing it this life, maybe in like, I think a few lives, probably close to like 3 or 4 lives once I have a few tycoons. But yeah, I do not have Hoshi Blade. I'm not that big of a grinder. Man, the sword combos are pretty ridiculous. So the best you can get is either looking for it on the wiki, or just finding someone in game that has it, or just looking at it in your own inventory gives you a pretty good sense of what it'll look like in the unlockable section. Never really saw a single person with it. Yeah, it remains, I think 25 people. You can go look at the badges for it and see how many people have actually unboxed it, which is actually quite low. So it is definitely going to be one of the rarer items to find in game to see someone who has it. Man, this side is the bad side for this sword. But yeah. Once I played with 3 people, 1 final, and there's 1 person who was only shooting at the boss and not the towers, so we had a horrible DPS loss, and the boss kept using the spinning attack on me. Yeah, that's why I prefer to do all the bosses on my own, since I don't want to deal with other people just being bad. So I hop into a private server and kind of just chill. Like even there, that's like my slowest time ever, I think, and mostly just because I've been a little bit distracted. My phone was dying that I used for chat, so I had to go plug that in really quick, and then also got quite a bit of comboed right at the end. But yeah, I was once opening crates for fun, and I got a classified. Oh, that's epic! Like getting your first classified is pretty cool. I mean, I could probably at this point go for a few different classifieds, but I just don't have the time or inventory space currently. I need to delete my purples, which I don't think is really an option, or I can just get my alt to have a little bit more storage space, which I'm somewhat working on, but it's slow. I'm starting to see how slow it is to grind for most people. Even though I do have glitchy loot gum and good pets on my alt that I just transferred from my main, it's still a little bit on the more obnoxious side. But yeah. I traded away for 500 loot bags. Depending on which one it was, that's probably a win. I think once you start getting over like Prism, that's an L. But yeah, I'd say most likely that's probably a pretty big, pretty good trade. Especially if it's like Rainwave or Twister. Even like Sunny is not really too good. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of those, a lot of things have weird value now. Like Ghostly Vision bags, they're pretty good, since they do have those classifieds and good stat pets in them. But at the same time, stuff like the Corrupteds have just base. You don't have to get lucky with them. So there's like a bit of a discrepancy there. I got different types of loot bags. Yeah, the best loot bags to get would be anonymous loot bags, since that's really what most people care about, and since it has the most amount of gems. If people do have like a rift gum, they can actually get a pretty good amount, since actually those loot bags haven't been nerfed with rift gum yet. I say yet. I got Rainwave for Fury Flight and Goro 7. In terms of Yeah, for your Fury Flight is worthless, but Goro 7 is actually, I mean, developer heads in general are decently worthwhile since stats and stuff. So, not, like, it's not too good of a trade, and, like, Rainwave is pretty easy to get. I think it's only, like, 15,000 gems total for it, which is quite low, but, yeah. Yeah, the crates cost a lot. A lot of the more expensive crates cost you think they cost a lot, but like as you can see in terms of my gem count, I'm not even high tier in terms of gems. Like that was a lot of grinding for me. Like people can get more than that in like an hour. So yeah. How do you even get Rainwave? It's from Pet Crate 1. It's the classified there. Hello. But yeah. Yeah, some of those, I think classified, or corrupteds from those crates have like a 5% chance-ish. So getting them first try isn't actually too rare. But it is really cool that when it does happen, since they are, pretty good stats and, very, very, very interesting to have, and to collect. So that's definitely cool. But yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure like corrupted heads will be going down in value as more people try to grind for the classifieds from the crates. Depending on how rare the classifieds are, if the classifieds aren't too rare, like I don't think they're too rare, seeing how people have already unboxed like close to 4 or 5 of them. I probably more, since that's like numbers outdated like a week. But yeah. No, you do. Bovin and Joven do not reset after rebirth, so you both can't do them again, and you keep whatever quest you're on, and if you're done, you keep the perk from them. It's kind of makes sense since you don't want to really be losing your pet inventory space, or being able to do it again, for more. So it makes sense in that respect. Also, in terms of those quests, since you don't lose your journal entries for pets, you can actually easily do quests again. For instance, if you have done Dylan once before for 8-bit, it's really easy to just do it again since you already have your index filled out for it. It takes like 5 minutes to unbox like the necessary legendary or something that you need to get it done with. So yeah. Is there going to be an update tomorrow? Yeah, there's going to be a big update. The next 3 updates are planned to be pretty big, according to Mackie. And they'll definitely include new perks, some lore, because apparently she's planning on killing off some of the NPCs. So, yeah. Be prepared for some new lore and stuff. I'll definitely be checking out the update and looking through the lore, since that's going to be pretty cool to see. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, along with that, the next 3, or Nyaki said that the next 3 updates will be pretty good. She asked for help asked for new ideas for new, like, powers for, like, perks and stuff. And then she's also asked for a list of the NPCs and then said something about, like, Thanos snapping half of them, or some of them. So, those are the current sneak peeks that we have for the next few updates. But yeah. I don't think there'll be a summer event quite yet, seeing how we just got off the Metaverse last one. So I think there needs to be at least one big update, and then maybe the summer update in 2 more weeks. I don't think they do back-to-back events, although they definitely could. But with the amount of lore that they need to introduce, I don't think it'll be quite what they have on mind. Yikes. Yeah. Setting aside its time for stuff like this, and just getting everything else done before playing games can be really productive and helpful. So yeah, definitely a good idea. Oh, thank you for joining then, Victor Roblox. But yeah. Pillars, I think, still. What? Yeah, we're still at eyeball stage. I kind of lost track of what stage I was at, but yeah. Well, how many you got right now, boss by keys? Only 8. I've only done 1 boss so far. Oh boy. So yeah. But I plan on getting over 100 this stream, depending on how it goes. I plan on streaming for like 4 hours and using a lot of boss gum. I have a decent supply, not too big. Not the 200, 450 that someone else currently has. But yeah, it's going to be about 100 this stream. What is your best pet? Currently, depends what you're talking about in terms of like rarity or stats. In terms of stats, I have some divine Oculus Overseers, like 3 from Rebirthing, but since those aren't really tradable, I don't really consider them too good. In terms of other decent pets I have, I also am rocking Mini Dutchman, Mini Final, and Mini King. In terms of value though, some of my limited store items are pretty valuable. Yeah, I don't really have too much good things in my inventory. Is Hollow's Eve valuable? I don't really know what Hollow's Eve is, so I'd guess not. But literally most things from Halloween are worth a decent amount, so hanging on to them can be pretty good. Doesn't really matter which Halloween, they're still both kind of worth quite a bit. But yeah. Well, best pet is Mini Final. Yeah, Mini Final's, it's one of those pets that most people think it's hard to get. And it's harder to get than like the Corrupted Heads, in which sense it is kind of difficult to get since it doesn't have too much better stats. But at the same time, it is worth a decent amount for trading purposes and stuff. And also actually not too hard to get if you have like 2 times boss drops and a decent amount of keys. Or boss gem, I should say. But yeah. Mine's a level 14 Mini Dutchman. Yeah, stats and stuff like that, although they are kind of good, I usually don't consider stats to be what makes a good pet. For instance, probably the best pet I have in my inventory would probably be Snowflake, since that is technically a one-of-a-kind pet, even if no one really cares about it. But yeah. We've started to rack up a few ghosts, so that's definitely going to get interesting. Hopefully this boss is falling soon. I don't see why it shouldn't. I haven't really not shot it, so probably like 10 more shots. I say that and it instantly falls. What am I expecting? Oh, yeah, that board, Doodle from Souls, I think. Unlockable board that you can buy with souls is actually pretty cool. Actually, most of the boards that you can buy with soul or with currencies are pretty cool. I'm not too much of a fan of the stuff from like Ecto Bits, but like the Ecto tokens and soul boards are really, really cool. Yeah, it has been a while since I've either went live or had a video. I've been kind of finishing off school. I am done with school now though, so I do have quite a bit more free time now. But yeah. Finishing off school definitely took a little bit of my time. Also, me being lazy and wanting to play games by myself. Like, I've been doing a bit of content, or just playing for myself, like grinding on my alt, or just kind of chilling and casually playing, rather than doing live streams. Also, have been doing a little bit of playing on like Minecraft and stuff since that latest update came out. But yeah. No, not really. I actually would prefer this game for not codes to like not exist, so people actually have to progress like normally. Of course, I don't think I've ever had to progress through this game normally, so I don't know if that's the best thing for me really, to be judging how other people progress, seeing how I basically started the game with a dragon pet and then followed that up with an overseer pet. So yeah. Let's use a glitchy boss scum again. Yeah, summer school just I've never had to do it, and I don't really ever want to do it, per se, since I don't have to. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, the code pets being out it definitely changed how the game progresses. But yeah. Yeah, I was doing that time freezing attack quite a bit. Doesn't really matter to me. It's not like it's going to make me lose. There you go, got some 8 more anomaly loot bags. I'm still surprised some of the things that have lasted in Ghost Simulator for this long. Like that unmodeled decal for block spike keys. The fact that other things like some broken things for like bosses and stuff still exist. Glitching out of the map still is prevalent. All that stuff still exists in the game. It's nice for like the nostalgia of it, but at the same time it's kind of like meh. Like, why don't you fix those bugs? Yeah, the corrupted how do you guys pronounce that? I pronounce it Board, but I feel like that's just like the completely wrong pronunciation of the board. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember when the hand petting was like, yeah, getting those first few godlies, if you ever did get them, the stats are just pretty weird. Getting into the game at first seems pretty interesting, and the stats are just different. But yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed the tips. I don't know if they're the best tips, but they're what I think, which is pretty much what matters. Board. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Board. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of, there's lots of pronunciations of it. I'm kind of probably pronouncing it the wrongest way, in terms of how it should be. But yeah. 3. Oop. I'm level 15 of Rebirth. Yeah. Sometimes getting through those Atenna levels, I'm assuming you're talking about Atenna levels, not the amount of rebirths you have, can get pretty hard, especially near the end. Really all you can do is grind. I would recommend, like, as I said, as I probably have said every video at this point, grinding gum before rebirthing so that you have some gum for it. Man. But yeah. Yeah, getting actually done with those quests, even if they do take forever, they can be really cool once you get through them, but that's definitely a rip. The fact that you had to do Dylan and stuff like that without Gum. Gum has really helped me with getting some of those quests complete, so definitely don't regret not doing them earlier. Yeah, grinding those Atenas, especially, I mean, if you have the Robux, buying 2 times items to help with that will actually be really productive. But just grinding those Atena levels can get really annoying really quickly. I know it's probably the most annoying thing for most people to do while rebirth grinding. If you don't have 2 times items in Gum, you're basically ending up taking 8 times longer, which is not fun. I don't know what I would do if I had to spend 8 hours in the back door rather than just 1. I probably wouldn't rebirth as much. Although I haven't rebirthed too much anyways, so rebirthing less wouldn't be too difficult. My luck with the Godly Pet in the 3rd crate is horrible. Yeah, some of those RNG is just weird sometimes. Sometimes things are pretty common, and you just can't get them. And you're like, why? It's just RNG deciding to flip heads 20 times in a row. And then other times you can get like the hardest to get thing like instantly just because RNG is like, you can have one. So yeah, definitely it really depends on RNG there, and it's just luck based, like the whole thing. It's a little bit awful. Yeah. Oh, that's even, it's pretty, I mean, at the same time, that can either be constrained as you got lucky with all of the other ones, which would be really good, or you got unlucky with that one. But yeah, it definitely is interesting to see how the luck works sometimes. For instance, like I think the 9th or like between the 9th and 15th pet I got from the first crate key I spent was Dragon Pet. And so I basically had really good stats for the whole time I was playing Ghost Simulator. So yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Sometimes it feels like if you need something, like if you're going for a godly in a crate, you just never get it. And then sometimes when you're unboxing for like, oh, I need to unbox 10 crates for this quest, you end up getting like a godly for whatever reason. It's just weird sometimes. But yeah. Let's finish that. I want to do a rebirth and finish Blaze, but I'm getting disconnected before I finish Final Boss. This is... Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Sometimes you are lagging, like your internet's just horrible, and you can't really play for too long a time, and then getting something done like the Final Boss, which is really laggy on its own, can get really annoying to try to do. So yeah. The best thing is figuring out how to solo it so you don't have to worry about other people. Would be my advice. Yeah, when most people say Blaze, they're referring to Agent Blaze. You usually just have to take the context. Since if someone says like Blaze is don't do Blaze, they're obviously referring to the Ghost Hunter Blaze, the useless one in the volcano, because you do have to do Agent Blaze. But yeah, the fact that there are 2 Blazes is a little bit confusing for a lot of people. So yeah, it's a lot of context clues there. Yeah, no one really talks about Main Hub Blaze. Unless they like mention the Sparks pet. There we go, boss dropped for the 3rd time. But yeah. Oh, the maze is annoying. I really need to create like a map for it, or just do a video covering it or something. There's actually good videos already on it, but I feel like maybe if I had one, other people could figure it out. I think it's like purple, red, purple, green, purple, red, purple, blue ladder run around on the top. Basically, every time I do the maze, I'm just running around like a little hamster the whole time. So I don't really know what the maze looks like. I just kind of figured out where to run around as a hamster. So yeah. It's pretty awful. Oh, I'm get disconnected every 10 minutes. Ouch. Yeah, that's pretty bad Wi-Fi if you're getting disconnected every 10 minutes. So, but yeah, that final boss takes 15, so you aren't getting that done. That's a pretty big rip. Yeah, there's really no way around that, I don't think. Purple, red, green, red, blue, big maze. Yeah, it's very confusing. There's a lot of random things that you have to do. You have to backtrack a lot. It's just difficult. So running around randomly is about the only thing I know how to do. Is it true at the final boss you need to destroy those eyes red, green, and blue? It's definitely not true. You can do it in any order. Whether or not it speeds it up, though, is debatable. I haven't tested it enough to really care, and I wouldn't think it would matter. So, yeah. I don't think... You definitely don't need to do it in that order, and I don't know if it's even helpful to do it in that order. So, I don't. I wouldn't think that the game would color coordinate anything like that without like giving some hint of it somewhere. So I would guess that's sort of a superstition that's been created over time. A lot of superstitions get created in games like this where everything isn't so transparent. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, the maze is really cool, since they made it so that you do have to do a lot of work for it. But at the same time, I can see why a lot of people don't like it, because of the amount of work that they have to do. So yeah. I don't think I've seen any lag or anything in this boss yet. I think it's just kind of Ghost Sim doing its laggy thing right in like the first few minutes of you playing the game and then deciding, we aren't going lag anymore, or whatever. For whatever reason. It's pretty interesting. I like how the NPCs retreat when the hoverboard is taken and say they'll help you, but they don't, they just spectate. Yeah, I don't think the NPCs ever really help anyone. Like, even when they're shooting, like, the boss or the pillars, it's more of, they don't actually do damage. It's more of just helping you, helping people to know where to shoot and stuff, I'd guess, than anything. So yeah, it's not like they do anything anyways. Yeah, even though they shoot, it's just a visual shoot. The shot doesn't actually do any damage. Which makes sense, since NPCs usually don't do much in terms of helping in games like this. But that's cool. Why is the Coven keyboard on the screen? Because why not, I guess? There really isn't a reason why it's on the screen. I just kind of was looking through, I'm like, I need something up there. And I kind of just selected a kind of one at random-ish. One, because it is a good-looking board in my opinion, and two, I am kind of working on developer crates right now, and it's from those crates. So yeah. Yeah, the stop time move is kind of, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's actually decently balanced, so no one really hates it too much. But yeah, I have about like 10 more seconds of shooting until the boss is down, I think. I'm not quite exactly sure. But yeah. Why does the boss push you back when you run it? I think there's something collidable inside of it that just decides to push you, like that. That would be my guess. And since the boss does try to face you at all times, it's also moving at the same time it hits you, which moves it more since you're moving, and just kind of creates a really big hitbox or something. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Let's go grab a boss scum. But yeah, I'm trying to get the Coven K pet. Yeah, those corrupted pets are pretty rare and very good. Will anyone believe me that I got the Coven K board on my first Coven K dev box? Actually, yeah. The corrupted boards and like pets are like a 5% rarity. So actually a decent amount of people can get those first try. I tried to get it, but I got bored and rebirthed. Yeah, definitely rebirthing is a decent way to spend your time. Like even compared to just grinding the final boss. It probably would have been better for me to just rebirth this life and then spend these 4 hours grinding a rebirth instead of doing this. I think I've done 4 bosses now. Have I actually done 4 bosses? I have done 4 bosses, and I forgot Glitchy Boss Gum on one of them. Yeah, I don't even remember doing that 4th boss now. I only remember doing 3 bosses. I'm slightly scared. No. Man, it's weird. Once you get into that rhythm, you just kind of forget stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do get those good stuff on their first dev crates. That's just kind of how RNG works, as I said. Same rarity of the pet is how many people will get it first try. For instance, the godlies in any of the crates, 1 in 250 people without any of the luck boosts will get one of those first try. So yeah. Oh, that's interesting. There's... Yeah, sometimes interesting stuff like that happens. It's not usually too big of a deal for me. Mostly since I'm usually not paying any attention anyways. So I wouldn't notice a difference like that. Since I'd just be paying attention to what it gave me. Anyways. Also, they do have the same name, which can be slightly confusing, but yeah. Yeah, I actually really like how Lore Master looks. It does help that it's purple, but like the book aspect of it and everything just is really cool. Very good concept idea. I don't know if it was actually an concept art, but it is definitely a good book idea. Scoop. Yeah, that's, I mean, not the best. Yeah, it's, as I said, the rarity of the items they're actually, since the keys are hard to grind, the rarity of the items are actually quite high. So a decent amount of people will, in their first crate, get something decent. But which is definitely pretty cool, especially if you're like grinding. The fact that things are actually pretty easy to get is pretty nice. That'd definitely be interesting. I would... Ooh, I got hit by a laser. Now we're getting wombo comboed. Yeah, that's a pretty weird glitch. I haven't heard about that one before. This pillar should be going down really shortly. This one also is probably low health. I'm not sure exactly how many times I've shot them, but I think that's like the last 3 shots that needs. Actually, I know the model of the keys hasn't been made ever, so it's kind of just using the anomaly loot bag look, which is definitely interesting to see a loot bag drop when you actually get a key from it. So that can be pretty interesting to see. Oh, the Santa Sleigh. Yeah, the Santa Sleigh. It's an interesting board. It's really nice that they actually reduced the hit collision of it, since the bow at the front used to be completely collidable, which, as you can probably guess, having that much in front of you collidable made it really annoying to traverse areas. So yeah. What is a good rebirth I should go for next? I have Master Hunter and Ghostly Vision. At that point, I think I have actually a video where I go over my thoughts on that. But basically, you go for the top 3 first. In your case, going for Lucky Eyes next would probably be the best. And then once you have all of those done, all the top 3, all those, then you can go for as many divine sits as you want, since Oculus Overseers are really good for stats. So as many of those as you need. If you don't need any Oculus Overseers, then going straight for some Tycoons is then after that. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, getting those Ghostly Vision pets or the Lucky Cats can be really helpful in getting good stats, since those are pretty high stats for pretty cheap. Oh, yeah, you can get the lucky cats with the overcharge, even if you don't have lucky eyes, since the overcharge just kind of disintegrates everything in the back door, and the ghosts still exist even if you can't see them. They still exist somewhere. It's not like they are just not in the world. If you don't have the eyes, they still exist, it's just you can't see them. So yeah, even without the overcharge perk, you can still overcharge those the lucky cat. Yeah, actually, it's best to, the overcharging, I use it when it's up in the air, or I try to at least, since you can actually do damage while it's up in there and floating, so that's a free 10% damage while you can't shoot it. Usually when I do overcharge, I know overcharge does 10% damage to the boss, but it isn't worth the time to overcharge, since you do get more damage faster just by shooting. So if the boss is down, there's no real reason to overcharge. Wow, y'all think I don't know how to play the game? Probably know more about this game than all of you guys combined. Nah, probably not. There's a lot of small stuff I don't know about the game, like any of the lore for like the main hub. I didn't read any of the lore for the main hub. After Gabe's tutorial, I kind of just stopped reading dialogue forever. Until like kind of recently when I decided, no one's finding lore, I better myself. But yeah. Yeah, it only deals damage to the final boss, and only when it's like shields are down, obviously. But yeah, 10%
10% divided by the amount of players that can overcharge, or oops, there goes the Windows resolution. Sorry about that. But yeah, it does 10% damage. So if you're solo, 5% if you're duos, etc. So yeah, that eye has about. I used to have Reaper. Yeah, actually a lot of people have had Reaper. It's a pretty common pet, since it was the first one available and a lot of people bought it. So it's pretty common to see, but it's, yeah, it's definitely hard to realize that you had those limiteds at one point that are worth a lot now. For instance, I used to have a Riptide pet, or not pet, board. The Riptide pet is worthless. A Riptide board, which I probably traded for an egg drop at some point, which I probably could have traded for multiple egg drops, but whatever. It's not too much of a deal. Can you tell me a tip how to grind faster in game? I still 5 and I don't like. To grind faster in the game, grinding, yeah. Like when you're at a 10 at level 5, there's not really too much that you can do to grind faster. Just grinding is about the only thing you can do. If you have Robux, buying 2 times items is 100% worthwhile right now for you. So if you want to, you can buy that to get like a decent boost to your progression. But I don't think other than that, there's not too much that you can do. Just keep grinding. The game's supposed to take a while. Like even for like heavy, like the hardest core grinders out there can do a rebirth in 4 hours. And that's a decent amount of time compared to most other simulators. Most other simulators have you taking closer to like 10 minutes per rebirth at like the absolute most when you're comparing to other simulators. So this is definitely not like other simulators where there's a lot less grinding. So just grind through it, you'll eventually get there. How do you rebirth in 4 hours? Well, having good pets, like ridiculously good pets, so you can basically buy the best equipment in each area instantly, so you don't have to spend as much time on that. Getting lucky with drops, along with having like 2 times items and lots of gum, are really helpful. Fast internet connection speed, so you can rejoin servers pretty quickly. So you can boss up faster for things like Yoko and Agent Blaze will help. Boss bait helps a lot too. So yeah. But yeah, seriously, it only takes like an hour for most people, or for top tier grinders to get through the back door, whereas most people take closer to 8. So that's probably the biggest time difference. I heard the fishbowl hoverboard is valuable. Is that true? I'm not quite exactly sure what the fishbowl board is. I would guess not, since I think it's a quest from Atlantis, so that makes it kind of not valuable. So I mean, it is somewhat cool. Man. Yeah, I would agree with buying clothing with Robux to be worthless, but at the same time it is a digital currency, so it isn't really worth anything anyways. Man, I'm getting hit with all these attacks. Okay, yeah, we're okay, we're just kind of chilling. Hello, Tomato. Let's see. Yeah, the block spike classifieds are the most powerful pets in the game. Yeah, I think most people have Fishbowl from the Atlantis event. Most people do end up doing those quest lines for most events. So most of those quest line pets are pretty much worthless. But yeah. Yep. Oh, nice job, Adar. Yeah, getting through the final for the first time, especially if you haven't like learned the strategies already, can be really difficult. Man, we have about 10 more seconds, I think, of shooting. Or yeah, this is a slower boss. But yeah. Oh, Mackey's streaming? That's cool. Yeah, or maybe not streaming. The classified's going to be a lot more common. Just since it's harder to grind those pets, or those crates. So probably closer to 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 2,000 is most people's guess on that, on the developer crates there. Maybe as common as 1 in 500, but I think that's doubtful, so probably 1 in 1,000. Man, there we go. This is like the slowest time I ever get, is this 30-second left on the clock. But yeah. Really? That would be crazy. Getting a classified from there. But anyways, yeah. Most people would give quite a bit for that. Let's go use a boss gun before I forget. Oh, really? Interesting. I actually watch every single video from you for some tips, and that's, oh, thank you. Thank you, Brandon. How's the grind going? Actually pretty good. I haven't messed up too badly yet. I haven't missed a, final boss defeation yet. I might have been a little bit slow on a few of them, but, other than that, we're doing pretty good. Thank you for asking, Chris. You can get classifieds from the final boss crate. The developer crates over there in the thing, each of the developer crates, in the final boss has a unique classified with pretty good stats. What I'm going to do after I get lucky perks, I'm thinking of just grinding for Oculus. Yeah, getting the Oculus, I created a video on my suggestions, but I have to reiterate it every, stream-ish, a few times. But actually it's kind of easy. Basically go for my opinion on getting for rebirth perks is go for the top 3 first. So Lucky Eyes, Ghostly Vision, and then Master Hunter. And then Oculus Overseers, those are kind of interchangeable. You could go for Oculus Overseers if you want first. I'd advise for like Lucky Eyes first if you want stats, since you can grind Lucky Cats pretty easily. You'll get both gems and also pretty good stat pets for pretty easy from it. But yeah. The slowest I've ever gotten is 14 seconds left. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you ever hatched a classified? I've gotten I've unboxed 2 classifieds, and both of them are pets. I've unboxed both Feather Shock and Sky Server. Yeah, I haven't really got any pets yet. I plan on unboxing for pets at some point, but I don't really have that need to. Yeah, no, I usually don't believe it when people get classified. I'm very cynical like that. I'm very distrusting of people, which is in some ways a good trait, but mostly just a bad trait. Yeah, it's been a while since the stream started. It's definitely interesting. How fast these streams sometimes go. I think I spaced out for a whole boss fight somewhere in this stream. But yeah. If you don't have good pets, yeah, if you need good pets, going for that Oculus Overseer is the best strategy. Lucky Eyes is also a decent strategy. Any of the top three in Oculus Overseers are the best ones to pick first off. So yeah. Yeah, editing. A lot of people do end up editing stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not usually too much into it. What should be my second rebirth? Any of the top 3, as I said before. Master Hunter or Ghostly Vision or Lucky Eyes. If you want, you can actually go for Oculus Overseers, but I would recommend the top 3 first, and then Oculus Overseers until you need. What's your favorite Blocks Bite classified pet? I actually really don't. Okay, I haven't really looked at them too much, even though I've created all like the paint. Even though like I know what all of them are, I really don't. I think maybe the butterflies might be. But yeah, those cooler like blue colors are pretty cool. I can't remember if any of them are purple. I don't think so though. So yeah. This pillar should be falling in about like 10 more shots ish. So yeah. Yeah, they're all really coolly designed. I feel like, I mean, they're a bit weirder, but I think they're based off for the developers, so kind of makes sense. I think Exoplanet's probably my least favorite, since it's pretty basic, but yeah. Oh yeah, the red tornado for Adam's like Pirates, I think. It's pretty much pretty out of place compared to like the other ones. It's definitely a lot harsher color scheme compared in like, oh man, we're getting combo today. It takes forever to get up. Like sometimes you get up instantly from those attacks, and other times it just takes forever. All right, where's these attacks coming from? There we go. Do that. But yeah. Oh, static phase. Oh yeah, that one that looks somewhat like Rainwave. Correct? Yeah. Okay, maybe that one then would be my favorite. But like still, they all look pretty cool. The color scheme of all of them are pretty decent. Can I tell you my user, or are you already in Max Friends, please? I don't accept friend requests from like YouTube for since I don't want to accept like some of you guys and not be able to like accept everyone, since I do have that limited friend request spots. So I don't, and that either that or I have to accept you guys and then unfriend you later, and that creates a whole different drama. So I'd rather just say up front I'm not going to friend people from streams and stuff. Yeah, I did choose Ghostly Vision as my first rebirth. I wasn't quite thinking, I really didn't know too much about the rebirths yet. It wasn't a bad perk to choose though. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, it's a Pyrus is, oh man, I hate this laser. I think everyone hates this laser. I mean, when you're soloing the boss, it's a big deal, but if you're not, it's less of a deal. I mean, yeah, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people do. I mean, most of you guys are trying to just. It's a very big compliment that you guys all want to friend me. But at the same time, I can't really do much about it, since sometimes it turns into a bigger thing than just that. So, yeah. I've been playing the game straight for like the last 6 days. Oh man, you have a lot of time. I think the most I've ever played like back to back would be like when I first started streaming this game, when I had like a week off of school, where I basically played like 4 hours a day for a week-ish, which got me a decent amount. But yeah, if you're playing that much, if you have the Robux, buying like 2 times items can be it's probably something you should have looked into. But yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's pretty obnoxious. But green laser and the time stop. I mean, they both have their ups and downs. But yeah, they're both quite annoying. Yeah, there's going to be a decent update for Ghost Simulator like tomorrow, which will contain quite a bit of lore, and probably a new perk, maybe. We'll see. But definitely a lot of new lore will be introduced into it, so, that's definitely going to be interesting content for, Ghost Simulator. Both the playthrough and cover for, like, videos and stuff, it's going to be interesting. Best game passes, times 2 items, times 2 luck, times 2 boss drops. plus 2 pets. I actually disagree with plus 2 pets. I made a tier list for like game passes long time ago. I should probably get an updated one, maybe. But like plus 2 pets is basically worthless for most people. I mean, it does increase, like, I think, let me see, it does like add like 60% extra, 60%, or is it something else? Let's see. Okay. 2, 3, yeah, okay, it adds about 60% additional stats, but that's not really, I mean, yes, it's decent, it's pretty good, but like, if you're just worrying about like grinding rebirths, it's not the best, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's not as good as you think it is. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't think, like, 2 times items is so good that I don't think it's really worth grinding without. I mean, if you don't have it, you can still grind, and it's not too awful. But there does need to be a little bit of a change since, ow, man, I hate these platforms. They just push you off every single time. Man, okay, let's get an overcharge over here, hopefully. But yeah, I need to, yeah, getting the 2 times items is pretty much required, I think, at this point in Ghost Simulator. But yeah. Yeah, I only have like 21 Robux currently on me. Which is only enough for like 2 more months of my private server subscription to Ghost Simulator, which is kind of interesting to see. Although I do have enough to like buy all of like the game passes again, which is in like groups and stuff. But yeah, boredom is pretty big. So finding something like grinding Ghost Simulator to get away from that boredom is pretty good. Yeah, Roblox, it's a lot of things like Roblox where if you haven't done it before, you don't understand at all what the whole thing is about. Like, why would people play Roblox? It's like something for kids, is a common thing. But like, at the same time, it's once you get into it, you realize like what the deal is and stuff like that. Man, we're just getting comboed today. Yeah, I've really only played like Roblox. And only really Ghost Simulator on Roblox for like the last few months, or even up to maybe a year. So yeah. Nah, I know Roblox is, most people don't have too much of it, which is definitely interesting. Somewhat annoying for most people, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of people that play, or played Ghost Simulator at some point, I don't really know how many more people that talk about Genshin in, like, the main chat of, like, Bloxbyte's Discord actually play Ghost Simulator anymore. But, like, Genshin I've heard is a pretty good one. I have no idea what's going on with it, so I probably won't ever get into it. But, yeah. Let's get... But, yeah. I know, right? There's that little bit of, like, double standard-ish. I know that's probably the wrong word. I don't think it's quite a double standard. But, like, if you don't have something, there's problems. If you do have something, there's problems. And it's like, there's no in between. It's just annoying sometimes. But yeah. What was the first game you played on Roblox? Oh man, I don't even know at this point. Huh. Yeah, I don't even know. It would have been a like. Yeah, grief. Maybe Stalker. I think that's the name of it. Stalker would be one of the first ones I played, I think. But like stuff like basic stuff like 7 or 8 years ago when I started playing Ghost Simulator or Roblox, would be like basic random games like Cole's Admin House, Build to Survive type games, and like random stuff like that, which is really basic for Ghost Simulator, or really basic for Roblox now. Those would have been like my first games, like where you literally just walk around and do nothing. It was interesting. Yeah, it's been a long time since I started playing Roblox. It's been over 8 years of my account being created, and I probably played a little bit before then as like a guest or something. Probably. Yeah, it's been long. Oh yeah, I started working on my alt recently, and I realized how slow it is moving around in Ghost Simulator. And since the map is huge, like starting out just feels overwhelming. Before you get like the hoverboard and stuff then. So yeah, let's go grab a boss gum. But yeah. Oh, that's kind of sad at the same time. Man. But yeah. I usually don't place too much emphasis on like friend requests and stuff since I'm not really too much of a person people. Like I don't really understand people too well. And don't really see the point in like friends requests and stuff like that. Yeah, my account is ridiculously old at this point. But like yeah, there's tons of people older than me too. Like I for instance, I really didn't understand how Roblox worked until like maybe even like I probably still don't understand how Roblox works to date. I don't know like the building aspect of it or any of that fun stuff. I barely know like egg hunt now. Back when I first started, I had no idea what egg hunts were. So like 2013, I could have done like the egg hunt and had some cool stuff from it, but I just didn't understand how it worked. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how long you last in games like Roblox, where it's been like already 8 years that I've played it, and it feels like yesterday or something. But yeah. Honestly, Ghost Simulator is the best simulator I've ever played. All the other, and no lore really. No bosses. Yeah, Ghost Simulator, it's really designed like, the dialogue from David in The Void. It was really designed as a role-playing type of game rather than a simulator. So it doesn't really fit the simulator aspect of just grinding stuff. And it is a lot more heavy on the grinding, which does kind of reduce the amount of players that it has since there's so much grinding to do. So yeah. Yeah, egg hunts were really cool. I kind of missed them too. I mean, obviously the newer events like a metaverse do make a little bit more sense since they do have usable like items and stuff like that. But yeah. $56, wow. What do I have 56 of? I'm not even quite sure anymore what I have 56 of. Oh, I think I have like 56 accounts. Yeah, I've made quite a few random Roblox accounts. And I've kind of lost the passwords to them, or just not remembered them. I think I have some of them written down somewhere. But yeah, I definitely understand having a lot of random accounts that you've made, and then just forgetting like the passwords or something. I realize I haven't taken down this pillar. I'm on autopilot, guys. I'm sorry. Autopilot's been failing me. Alright, yeah, okay. The only other simulators I played for more than 2 hours was like Ninja Legends. I remember that I have had account named. Oh yeah. Testing from like different accounts and stuff. Yeah, even like the developers of Ghost Sim had developed like testing accounts for their own game. There you go. Now we can go back into autopilot. Why do you have a little bit of subscribers? I mean, I don't make the best content. Like, I mean, I do make decent content, I realize, but it's not like the best content. Also, it's a very niche content. Like, the same thing like Ghost Simulator doesn't have too many players, is the same reason I don't have too many subscribers. Is just because Ghost Simulator is so niche, it only really, like, appeals to, like, a very select grinder style of player. So I'm not really expecting like everyone that plays Roblox to subscribe to me all of a sudden, because I'm not really doing that. But yeah, I mean, if I made better content and was like into more of the popular stuff, like ooh, what's something popular that's actually good? I'm trying to think of something popular that's actually good. I mean, maybe Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft's really good. If I made really good content for Minecraft, I could probably be a ton more popular. But I don't really have I haven't really put too much time into like editing and stuff like that to make good enough content for that popular of a game. Since there's just so many people better at creating content than me, it's not really too good. Oh man. Yeah, I don't really do like dares and stuff. Like betting like stuff like that. I'd rather just keep what I have. Like changing names. I haven't changed my name at all in like the 8 years I've played Roblox. Mostly since for the first part of it I didn't have any Robux to do it. And then once I got decent, but yeah, you actually make really good content. Thank you. I know it's actually, some of it's decent, most of it's unedited and kind of raw in terms of like quality, but yeah, it's definitely nice to see when people say that my content's good. But yeah, there we go. Boss should drop. Yeah, no, getting your first few subscribers is definitely interesting. If you're ever trying to grow on YouTube, it's can take a little bit of time to grow. Like the best thing is just continue doing it. Even when like your videos get 0 views, like there's been like looking back through my channel history, there's been times where I haven't made content for like 4 or 5 months at a time. There's been times where I haven't grown at all for like months at a time, as I said. It took me like over 2 years to get 100 subscribers, just because I really wasn't making regular content or actually caring too much about editing or anything like that. So yeah. Solve the centers. Oh, you're working on our cube? Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, 9x9s. Oh, that's definitely cool. I think I only have like a 8x8. I think is the biggest one I have, which is decently sized, but it's not quite a 9x9 yet. There's a little, but yeah, it's bigger cubes like that can be really fun. But yeah, it takes forever to get them solved. Like probably would take me close to an hour and a half or something to get a 9x9 done. Oh, there's a few other decent YouTubers that do Ghost Sim content, like Preston, Vic, Coven does some, but yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, there's something about like the better games for like people to play on Roblox, like Adopt Me and stuff like that. You can't really make good content on them, I think. Like even for like Ghost Simulator, I'm always kind of wondering what new content I can make because there's not too much I can actually do in terms of like content covering. I do have actually I already have a video made. I'll probably publish it next week. Seeing how I'm going to be on vacation next week, so I need to get something to cover that distance, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of random YouTubers just kind of poke their heads into Ghost Simulator every once in a while, I feel like. But yeah. 2x2 to 4x4. I don't have 5x5 to 8x8 yet, so I felt like being dumb and skipping ahead to 9x9. Actually, thing is, if you can solve a 4x4, you have enough info to solve anything bigger. It's the same sort of algorithms and the same concepts to apply. So you actually don't need to know anything different to solve a 5x5 versus a 4x4, which is kind of why bigger cubes like a 9x9 and stuff like that, they don't really scale too well since there's really no reason to get that big, since it's basically just the same thing a million more times. Like, honestly. Try beating the bow boss without a vacuum. Yeah, I don't think that's how a boss works. Oh, it worked. Yeah, sometimes things randomly break and stuff. Like, I've noticed on the internet, just stuff randomly breaks, and it's just kind of, you have to either wait for it to fix itself, or turn it off and turn it back on again. Usually fixes it. There should be an eye going about now. I was saying hopefully we'll get up before that boss comes down, but whatever. What gives you the most XP for your pets? Best way to grind XP if you're working on just XP is to grind the bow boss in the void, since that's 250 XP I think every 3 minutes, which is ridiculously quick compared to anything else. So yeah, if you need XP, you can grind that. Another bonus of that is you can get some random keys that you can use to buy like equipment and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend really grinding for XP since it's better just to grind for better pets in the long run, and then just like level those up just as you play. But yeah, we will get you to 1 million subs. I don't think I'm getting to 1 million. I don't even think I'll hit 1,000 before the end of this year. It's just not going to happen. All the Rubik's videos I watch, and they all recommend doing up to 5x5 first before the harder ones. Yeah, I mean, obviously you need to learn how to apply this stuff from a 4x4 to a 5x5, but at the same time, it's, once you learn how to apply it, then it's basically the same, but yeah. Now, I think learning the 3x3s, I learned 3x3 first from, like, someone at school, like 3 years ago, and it's been really cool to know how to do that. Commutators. I have no idea what you just said. But yeah, there's a lot of good content for figuring out how to solve Rubik's Cubes and stuff on YouTube. Pretty cool. Hi, I have an idea for you. A ghost sim, but it's FPS mode. Scroll your mouse all the way. I tried doing this for 15 minutes and then I gave up. Sometimes it may just get used to it, but just scroll back in. Oh yeah. Like playing Roblox games in first person can be really interesting. Man, I didn't get that overcharge. I really wanted to get that overcharge. I don't know. Yeah, no one really uses the board just because it's so easy to get, that people don't really think it's too cool to use, I guess. Yeah, no, I mean, oh, phew. But yeah, oh, cool. Yeah, getting a quick time on 3x3 is actually surprisingly hard. You hear, like, things like, oh, the world record for 3x3 is, like, 5 seconds. And you're like, oh, And then you actually do it yourself, and you're like, oh, it takes me like 5 minutes to do it or something. You're like trying to get faster, and then you realize it takes forever. Like, even I've been doing it for a decent amount of time, and I like know half of like the good or the somewhat quicker methods, like half of OLL and half of PLL, in very basic F2L. So I'm sitting here with like a average of like a 40-second solve time, which is still ridiculously slow for speed cubing. So yeah, it's getting fast on cubes is hard. Like faster than 2 minutes is still pretty good. Yeah, 40 seconds. Getting down to 40 seconds just takes forever. Where is that boss? There it is. Yeah, I know. I don't. Oh wow. Okay, it's close enough. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. There's only what, like a 60% difference between those two numbers. Oh man, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, the Mega Banks is basically the same thing as a 3x3 in terms of solving, which is cool. Especially since it makes you look a lot cooler when you know how to solve like a 12-sided random or 12-sided dodecahedron compared to just a normal cube. Even though it takes just the same amount of skill, it looks a lot better. Yeah, in 2x2, any combination of a 2x2 can be solved in under 11 moves. And so they actually have a requirement that you need to have at least 8 moves from a solved position for the mixed up cube. So yeah, there's a 2x2 is a lot weirder than 3x3. Yeah, that's just sort of what yeah, that's kind of what streams devolve into. It's doing whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely I would definitely suggest you to do something else productive, even if that's just playing Roblox yourself while doing streams, since I know YouTube can be a very bad rabbit hole for unproductiveness. I know sometimes I end up watching like 5 hours of YouTube in a day and getting nothing done, and it's bad. But yeah. I only have a Fisher cube and a windmill looking cube and a mirror cube. Mirror cubes are cool. Like, I have... Man, okay. They look really interesting, and yet they're solved basically the same way, even though they're very confusing to look at. So yeah, mirror cubes are good. I have a metal cube that looks silly. I hate it. Probably you're talking about a mirror cube there. They're usually a silvery color, the metallic silver. And basically it's based off the size of the cube, size of the, each of the, things is to how you have to solve it, so it's all into a cube. It's definitely pretty interesting. But yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different cube differentiations, and some of them are really cool. I think probably my favorite is probably the square one that I have right now. Although there's definitely a lot of others. I would really like a curvy copter or something like that, where it's really complicated in a different sort of move set. Since some of the things for some of the cubes for that you do get are actually pretty simple to solve, like the Dino cube. So yeah, of course I still love the 3x3. 3x3 is still ridiculously good even after solving it like a billion times. And it looks like we got the boss floating a little bit. Yeah, it probably, I don't know either. It's just kind of whatever you guys what I think about chatting on. But yeah, Rubik's cubes are really cool. I have a decent collection. So yeah, it's very similar to Ghost Simulator in the fact that they take forever to figure out, but are really satisfying once you do. But yeah. Dino Cube? Yeah, Dino Cube. How do I explain it? Basically, you turn the corners, and there's like a one piece for every, one like triangular piece for every side, or corner, or edge, or whatever you call them. So yeah. It's a very simple cube to solve. Like, it's something that most people would be able to pick up if they knew how things moved around like cubes in their head. You don't really need any like tutorial on how to do them. Oh yeah, before I learned how to do cubes, we had like a few around the house, and the only way I knew how to solve them was just to take them apart. It was horrible. Until eventually I did get someone in like one of my classes like 3 years ago knew how to solve cubes, and we were bored in one of my classes, so I decided to learn. You know, basic stuff that happens in high school. Not doing any classwork and learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube, because why not? So yeah. And after that, I kind of looked into more of it myself to get faster and stuff like that. But yeah, learning Rubik's Cubes for the first time is definitely pretty interesting. Oh, I thought that was a gear. Oh, I don't even have a gear cube. Thanks for reminding me that I still don't have one of them. They're decently easy to solve, but like at the same time, they're very cool. Very interesting though. Oh man, that sounds painful. Yeah, once you start missing like stickers and pieces for cubes, it gets really bad. Decent quality cubes are decently cheap, but at the same time, it's still something that you might as well stick with what you have, unless you're like really good and you need that better. Like even my Mega Mints aren't the best or anything like that, so I kind of just chill with them. But yeah, it's sometimes you just lose pieces and stuff like that, and it's kind of annoying. Alright, that should be going down. That should be dropping. Yeah. But just memorizing those algorithms is the only really way to solve the cube. Alright, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. D8 or Theo, whatever you prefer to be called in YouTube. Oh, yeah. Sometimes cubes actually do fall apart in actual records. Like speedrunning attempts, your cubes can something can just go wrong. And it's actually not as uncommon as you think, especially with bigger cubes, for the whole thing to just explode on you. It's definitely interesting trying to put a bigger cube back together. Especially if it's like a even number cube. Even number cubes are a lot harder to put together than like odd number cubes, just because they don't have the centerpieces and stuff already there. You actually have to build like around them and stuff. It's a bit more painful. Alright, there you go. Oh yeah. Oh, especially Rubik's brand cubes are going to be a lot harder to solve. But yeah, getting newer speed cubes is actually pretty easy to see how it was. Like even looking at like the old world records, you can see like the difference there. It was like there's a lot different strategies used, and a lot less of a lot harder to solve everything in general. So yeah, a lot less was known. Yikes. Alright, let's switch to this one. I have no idea how I haven't got hit by one of those orbs yet. Oh yeah, solving 20 by 20. Anything larger than like a 9 by, even like something as small as a, I say small reverently, compared to like a 20 by 20. But like a 9 by 9 will take people close to an hour. Most people close to an hour to solve. Like it's once you start getting up there in sizes, things start taking like ridiculously longer to solve, like exponentially longer. So yeah. Yeah, sometimes bigger cubes just explode. You twist them the wrong way and all of a sudden there's a million pieces all over the floor. It just, there's part of you that's like, oh, this is not worth putting back together, and at the same time it's like the only thing you can really do is put it back together. There's too many pieces to not. It's a very interesting balancing act putting back a bigger cube. Oh yeah, last two edges are somewhat annoying, especially since there's parity problems between them. With 9 by 9 you have a little bit less parity problems. You can see them a lot quicker at least. But yeah. You still have a bit of a parity issue there. That you can run into, which can be really annoying to solve. Could you... I don't want to. No, I don't know who that is, so no. Yeah, I don't really understand like raids and stuff like that, so and especially if I don't know someone, I'm not going to. I only know a 3x3 cube. Yeah, a 3x3 cube is pretty. It's probably it's definitely the funnest of the cube sizes to solve. Like even though it's like the oldest one, it's still the best. Yeah, I have no idea what a raid is. Or I know what a raid is, but I don't know how you do it and stuff like that. So, now we're just gonna chill with final boss. Oh, that's the best. Like, I mean, I used to do that a bit, on like, but at the same time, it's a decent way to solve it. It's just not really correct. The important ones, the most important ones of you only need to do like Atom. I would say I did a video on it, but you'd need to do Atom, and then I would suggest doing Jesse so you can have magnetism so you don't need to worry about picking up items. And then after that, you need to do Yoko from Ghost World, and then Gatekeeper from Ghost World, and then also Agent Blaze from Backdoor. Those are the only quest lines you need to do. I'd also recommend, and then whatever's in the Void, so like the Rebirth NPC and the Developer NPCs to get access to the Bow Boss. But after that, there's not really any quests that you need to do, although doing Fern for 33 crate keys and the bit of boss bait she gives is actually pretty good too. This week I got my second Rebirth after like 25 bajillion years of grinding for it. Yeah, if you don't have like game passes, good pets, the ability to grind a lot, gum, if you don't have any of that, Rebirths just take forever. The biggest difference is probably in the back door, where people with 2x items and who have grinded for some gum beforehand can usually do all the back door up to Agent Blaze in less than an hour. Whereas people who don't have any of that, who less pets, don't have gum, don't have the 2x item Game Pass, end up taking closer to like 8 to 12 to 16 hours to complete it. Oh, don't do the farmer. Yeah, no, don't do the farmer. Although you do need to open those areas anyways. You can just kind of do that later, I think. Or just while you're working on them. Since you usually do need an antenna parts rather than the items anyways. So you usually have spare items even while with just grinding for the antennas, usually you have enough spare items to just buy the bonus biomes. But yeah, don't worry about the quest lines. Especially, don't do Billy. Billy is a 2-hour ordeal to do him. Very long quest line, very low reward. How many badges do I have? In terms of Ghost Simulator or in terms of Roblox? In terms of Ghost Simulator, I have all but the classified pet, since I haven't really had the inventory space to unbox for it. In terms of Roblox in general, I have no idea. A lot of them are worthless. Item Jessley, you don't need to do Finsley since most people have the Master Hunter Rebirth perk. If you don't have it, then do Finsley, but you're better off just getting the Master Hunter Rebirth perk so you don't ever have to do Finsley again. $2 for Billy? Yeah. Yeah, 2 hours? That's with me using, like, tons of gum, really good pets, already, like, the maxed equipment. That's not needing to unlock the antenna levels. That was 2 hours of just solid, normal grinding. Like, none of that was needed for, like, antenna levels. I'd already got those done. I was using glitchy loot gum whenever possible. Yeah, just tons of stuff already. So, that 2 hours is definitely the low estimate of it, which, you compare that to the hour that you need to spend for most other quest lines. It's not worth it, especially since it's such a worthless rebirth perk. Currently I'm at antenna level 20. I do have 5 rebirths though, and I can easily get another one. But since I'm kind of max and there's going to be some lore in the next few updates, I don't want to rebirth to miss the lore. Rebirth and have to grind back up. Especially if they introduce something new like a boss. I want to be able to grind that boss with all the perks I have currently. And so I don't need to go chill and do something else. But yeah. You don't need to do them. If you want to, you can, yeah. But every quest in the back door, except for Agent Blaze, you don't need to do to rebirth. So you can just kind of skip them. And I would recommend skipping them, even though that kind of goes against what I say about the game should be grindy, and ruining the purpose of the game and all that random stuff I say, but yeah. In all Roblox, I have 17,600. There's a game you can count your badges, and I'm the global 55th. Wow, that's ridiculous. There's a lot of things like games that you can just get easy badges for like just joining and stuff. I haven't played any new games in like forever, so I haven't really gamed since I first started playing Ghost Sim or Roblox. I say Ghost Simulator so much when I mean like Roblox, just because that's the only thing I really play on Roblox anymore. Let's go use my last boss gum. Every single classified board, pet, gum in the game first try? Impossible. There's no way. Even getting 2 classifieds back to back is ridiculously uncommon. I think the best we probably have is someone unboxing 2 classifieds without a godly in between, which is, I might have actually been back to back, but it's probably was just without a godly in between. But yeah, it's getting 2 classifieds in a row is basically impossible. So getting any more than that would be, in first try is just going to be ridiculously, like, yeah. Possibility, no, the possibilities of the 10 by 10 is going to be a lot bigger. I can tell you that right now. Or maybe not. Man, that's like 100,000 times 100,000 compared to like something to like the Eve times 10 to the power of like probably a few hundred. Basic math here that was telling me that, yeah, that number is going to be a bit bigger from Ghost Simulator, but yeah. Yeah, there's no real reason to yeah, you're right. It's it's so uncommon that you really don't even need to worry about calculating it, since you can just say it's 0 and be within like 0% threshold of error. Yeah, the new update tomorrow will definitely be interesting to record for. I'll probably be a bit late recording the update, maybe. Really? Man, especially with me streaming today, I don't even know if I will. Depending on what content it is and how much the other YouTubers, like Vic and Preston, are going to cover content on it. I don't know if I'll even do an update video for it, since there'll just be enough other update videos for me to just kind of not worry about it. So yeah. If video suggestions, cover something obscure on it, or not really obscure, like cover like the dialogue. If you want to cover like some content like that, if a new NPC is added, cover the dialogue of the NPC specifically. And since no one really will do that, and that lore that you will get from that dialogue will be a lot good, make sure to include like unfinished quest quotes, the finished quest quotes. Slow down through all the read all the interesting dialogue from it. An interesting video like that, instead of just telling what the quest is. Just going through and doing that all will be pretty cool. No, that's fine being late. I would prefer you all to be doing something productive in real life rather than watching this stream, even if you would love to. But actually, currently pretty well. 2 days ago, Tuesday, I finished my quarters, or my class quarter for college, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then tomorrow, actually, I have my graduation for high school, which I don't care about at all, but apparently it's important or something. I don't know. I haven't been at high school for like forever, so not too big a deal for me. But your stream is productive. Yeah, YouTube in general isn't very productive rabbit hole. I usually get swamped into it. Let's see, let's shoot at this one. But yeah. Yeah, it helps that Ghost Simulator is so small that you can actually find smaller people like me. It's probably the only reason why and also with me actually streaming, I think I'm the only one that ever really streams Ghost Simulator. I mean, most of that just since Ghost Simulator isn't really something you can really stream too well. I mean, there is a little bit that you can do, but it's really just the same things over and over and over again. Like, I haven't done anything other than Final Boss this time. But yeah. Oh, yeah. What moving anywhere is just different. I don't know exactly what it is for you, but I haven't really... Moving, you lose a lot of, like, friends, at least, if you have friends. I haven't moved, but, that's a big one. And then it's just different. You have to relearn a whole new set of, like, traditions and stuff. It's just weird. Wow, that's ridiculous. That's like 5 subs that I've got over this stream, which saying 5 subs out loud is not too much, but at the same time, for me, anything over like 2 subs gained in a day is ridiculous for me. I consider pretty big. But yeah. Oh yeah, time zones are also pretty weird. I mean, if you need to, get a sleep. There's nothing productive going on in this stream to warrant staying up for. But yeah. I hope that... Oh. That's... Yeah, we're doing this attack. I would say... I don't want people to be, like, advertising on my behalf, since I don't really want... like that negative part of advertisement, because seeing advertisements, people usually don't like advertisements. They're just kind of meh at best and annoying at worst, and it's just kind of something I don't really want to strive for, is having advertisements places. But yeah. All right, stay safe, Flower. But yeah. I think I have like about 200 keys worth of gum, and if I use all of it, I think I want to get like 500 before I do another like unboxing for classifieds, which I don't know how much more streams I'll have to do for that, but we'll see. But yeah, I think the thing is, Ghost Simulator is so niche that sharing it with people, like, it's just, you can't even like share Ghost Simulator with people since it's so hard to get into. And then if you do understand Ghost Simulator though, that's when like that's kind of where I get yeah, you have to understand Ghost Simulator first before you even like understand like the people who cover like the Ghost Sim content. It's definitely weird. Oh yeah. Hopefully the stream isn't lagging for anyone else. It's just my phone deciding to be stupid and not the stream itself lagging. Looks like we should be fine. My YouTube is saying that we're doing good, so I'm assuming it's just my phone lagging a lot. Any suggestion on a Roblox profile? I don't know. I'm not really one person to ask about art. I haven't really changed anything about like my profile pictures or anything like that in a long time. My Roblox outfit basically stayed the same for like the last 4 years. Like the shirts change out to a different purple shirt every once in a while, and something new randomly gets added, but it's basically remained the same for like the last 4 years. Something basic that anyone can understand is usually the best. In my opinion, simple is better. Like, that's mostly just because I can't do anything better than simple. For instance, if you look at like my YouTube thing, it's a very basic YouTube profile picture. At some point I should probably do some better art for it or something, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Classified pets and stuff like that, or like your favorite pet or something as a profile picture, can be pretty cool. It's a bit confusing for people who don't know Ghost Simulator, and if people do know Ghost Simulator, it's a bit redundant. Oop, and I missed that jump. Oh well. Ooh, Alley? Yeah, Ghost Under Alley is one of the cooler NPCs. Alright, that should be breaking now. No, not really. Cursed Roblox avatar profile picture. Man, don't cursed images. I feel like most people are like either hate them or they really enjoy them. I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, there's not really too much of a reason to care about them. But yeah. But yeah, make sure you get something that you like. And then stick with it. Sticking with something just makes everyone know who you are, so they aren't confused if someone new randomly hops in. Like if you change your everything, no one knows who you are anymore, which is the biggest thing I try to avoid, is changing stuff, so people always kind of know where I'm at. But yeah. Yeah, hello back. Hello, Victor. Welcome back. But yeah. Alright, we have about like 10 more shots on this before the shield breaks. I just realized I've been grinding for over 2 hours already. It's definitely not seemed that long. But yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. I think I'll just kind of chill here until I get hit, I guess. Yeah, I haven't got too much into like some of those things like Smash Bros and stuff like that. Even like older Nintendo games, haven't really done too much of, like Donkey Kongs and stuff like that. So, yeah. The link got deleted. YouTube doesn't allow links, or usually doesn't allow links, usually because they can contain very bad stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of weird glitches that goes on in Ghost Simulator, and it just doesn't even make sense half the time anymore. I should probably go drink some water. How are we doing in terms of time? My quality is too low. I need to really turn that up at some point. Boop. There we go. Now we should be able to see the time wherever that is. 40 seconds, so it should drop around 30, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah. Bit of a slower fight compared to my normal, but not too bad. Man, that's like the third time this stream I've ended at exactly 30 seconds. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest following any links. I don't see it popping up in chat, but like if someone sends you a link, don't click on it. I'm not really too much of a fan of, and I forgot a Boscom, but whatever, not too big of a deal. We'll run out of Boscom anyways, sometime. Just allows us to do some of it later. We're currently at 60 block spike keys. Which has been all 7 of my glitchy boss scum, along with 2 others. So 9 fights so far, about 7 more left. Yeah, it probably was a rickroll. People are not that creative with the rickroll links, as I've seen, but yeah. Links have been getting deleted, so from my point of view, I really hope that's what you guys are seeing. But yeah. Anyways, we should be able to, this will be the 10th boss I think I've done. And we're a little bit over our average of 15 minutes for a fight. Mostly just due to me being bad and missing and getting hit a lot more than I usually do, but yeah. Oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, getting your first few like videos and content, one of them like blowing up can be a big deal for your channel. Like I know someone in actually in the Bloxbyte Discord yesterday, I think, maybe the day before, they'd created content for like a random Roblox game that kind of just blew up all of a sudden. And so their videos started getting like 1,000 views, even though they'd only started their account or YouTube account like a week ago. They already had like 100 subscribers and a few thousand views on all of their videos. And it was just ridiculous to see how fast you can grow if you hit something popular like that. But yeah. I think it's more funny than anything that it happened. I'm not really. It's pretty funny that someone managed to like just accidentally grow that big that quickly. But yeah. You like my Ali profile pic? It's pretty good. Actually, yeah, that's decent. I mean, I'm not usually too much into like what someone's profile picture is, rather than just whether or not I can recognize them from it. I'm not too much into art. I'm pretty awful at art and not very good at judging it. So yeah, I'd say, I mean, it's a profile picture. Who's Ali in Ghost Sim? She's the random one in the swamp that gives you the big cheese pet. She is somewhat based off the Bloxbyte admin Tutu. Used to be a moderator until like a week ago when she got promoted to a admin. But yeah. Yeah, I know, right? The thing about it is, once you get people, people are like there's a good part of it, but there's also like the bad aspect of having more people watching your content. Like, you feel more obligated to create content once you start getting bigger, but at the same time, you are bigger. Like, for instance, I was perfectly fine. I still would be perfectly fine giving a 3-month hiatus on videos. But like, there's times when I was making back when I was starting out, where my content would get 0 views and I'd have 0 uploads in like a month, and it was just nice. But yeah, she's pretty random. Similar to Liz, she's kind of just there to help with stats, even though you kind of need to get up to like antenna level 19 before you can complete her quest line, which is just ridiculous. Since at that point, like, her stats are useless. Like, really, the whole point of your stats is so that we can grind through the game faster, and we can't even get it before we're done with the game. But yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting how Ali works in the game. Big Cheese Pet is only really good for backing stats, and then once you get it, you can't even use it. It's kind of bland. Yeah, usually people less than a thousand subscribers is when you're able to monetize, and it's usually the biggest goal for YouTubers is getting to that 1,000 mark. Since it's both a very big mark. You're allowed to monetize. It's a different number other than 100 or stuff like that. It's the first place where that comes up. and it's a very good mark, and especially so it's a good like test of quality. But yeah. Ow. So yeah, I can definitely see that. And usually when someone's under like 1,002, you're usually not making the best content anyways. Like, I know I'm not. That ice should be falling. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think I don't care too much about like differences of like spelling for like your. I type it wrong every single time. So I don't. When you're typing on like the internet and stuff, it's not too big of a deal. If you're, as long as people understand what you're trying to get at, you're fine, in my opinion. There we go. But yeah. There we go. There we go. It's down. 3 more I think left. But yeah. No, it's definitely YouTube's been an interesting place for me. I used to literally just watch YouTube for a lot of Minecraft content back when that was the popular stuff to watch. Like, you'd watch the same random Minecraft content. Now it's kind of interesting. I was fighting volcano when the when the volcano pillars spawned, and when they went down, lava, even though it was. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, that just sounds awful. I've never seen that happen, but I can definitely imagine some code breaking about removing the lava, so that could be pretty bad. Oh, I know, right? Like, they take away the NPCs and it does literally nothing to the actual fight itself. It's just kind of like a moral or, okay, that should be falling. It's kind of just one of those things where it's like, they need to take away something and need to add a few more phases. Even if it, like, does nothing. Like, even once they take away the interface, it usually does, like, nothing, for you. Like, it doesn't really affect you all that much. Like, the only issue is it kind of, if you want to use gum, you can't anymore. But I don't ever use zoom gum on the boss fight anyways. Alright, there's like 10 more shots I need or something. Yeah, but some of the NPCs can definitely not really matter. Like, for the fight. Like, instance, oh man, there's no pillars over here. Oop. Alright, let's see. We're getting comboed by the laser now. Yeah, I know, right? The lava just pushes you up so high. Doesn't even, like, make sense anymore. Okay, should probably be falling if I don't get hit by any of these swords by the end of it. Oh, yeah, the fact that there isn't any corruption in the final, I think it's both a good thing and also like it's a weird thing, since basically every fight has that corruption aspect. But it's also a good thing that you don't have that corruption, so you're just kind of fighting its time. Okay, we're getting comboed again. Yeah, Roblox characters in general just are. You have to like code in like damage and stuff, and it's usually jank. Pretty jank for how much damage people take from like falling and stuff. But yeah. Video games are weird. Moral of the story, even if like they're supposed to be realistic, like they usually aren't. Hello. Welcome back.
But yeah. With those ghosts spawn, we should be able to get it down to like 10 to 15 shots left. Since this is basically just free damage when it summons ghosts, since it takes forever to move on to the next attack, and just kind of sort of chills there. Oh, nice! Rebirthing for the first time. And thank you for that you enjoy your videos and subscribing. That actually really helps me out a lot. Thank you, Raphael. That's pretty cool. Do you want to play together on Discord? I usually don't play with anyone. Like, even most of my friends I never play with on Roblox. It's not something I really want to do. I mean, at some point, maybe doing something interesting with like a lot of people would be cool, but it's just not really too much. I really enjoy playing with other people too much. I think that should probably be the end of the final boss. There's like 3 more shots left probably on the shield. Probably, maybe not. Maybe I have no idea how much damage I've done. But yeah, thank you. But yeah. Where is this boss? Okay, I've lost the boss. Where is this boss? Ah, there we are. There the boss is. Yeah, that's the thing about being zoomed in. If you're zoomed in, your mouse always stays in the middle, so even when it zooms in, you're still attacking the boss. I would love to play with you, but yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is private servers in Ghost Simulator don't allow people to play together in other worlds other than the main hub. If they did, I would definitely probably be playing with like two to three other people to help with the final boss, since some of the attacks, like the laser one, it actually would help to have multiple other people to help shoot while you're being lasered. But yeah, that's just not how it works. I mean, yeah, also Ghost Simulator really isn't built to play with other people yet too much. But yeah. I hate how sensitive the mouse gets when the boss zooms your screen in. I mean, yes, but at the same time, it's technically not any more sensitive than it is before. It's just you notice the changes since you have a lot less of a view. But yeah, it's actually one of the most annoying attacks, despite it doing absolutely nothing. Technically, like all it does is, oh, we need to go use a boss gum. That was quick save. Sensitivity to the max next round. We're up there. I like having a higher sensitivity. It's usually better for gaming. But yeah, it's already pretty much up there. But it's about out where I like it. But yeah. Can you give me good pets? If you're looking for good pets, the best way is probably to rebirth. Since you can either go for Oculus Overseers, since those are really good stat pets, better than anything I can give you, or even if you go for like something like the Lucky Eyes, those Lucky Cat pets are actually really good and actually quite easy to get, since you always get one per basically every minute that you grind Lucky Cat, or get one loot bag every 1 minute you grind a Lucky Cat, since it respawns every minute. So all you need is like 100 per one lucky cat pet, and so you can easily go spend like 2 to 3 hours just on that, and get like a full team or something, or at least 1 or 2 to help out your stats.
Yeah, Ghostly Vision's not... It's actually a decent one. If you need stats, I mean, most people I'd recommend getting Master Hunter first, since it does allow you to rebirth faster, and if you want all those perks. Anyways, you do kind of need to rebirth a few multiple times. But yeah. Where's the Lucky Cat? It spawns in a cycle. You can actually go look on the wiki. Has a pretty good cycle. In each of the 3 main worlds, so Ghost World, Main Hub, and Backdoor. So once you get up to like antenna level 10, you can just kind of grind in like the main hub for like a few hours to get a few hundred loot bags. Yeah, I've been grinding for a while now. It's actually pretty nice. I always manage to do the auto what is it? Whatever. I usually forget about this last pillar when I'm on auto mode for the boss drive, but yeah. Oh, that's, yeah, sometimes it's just hard getting some of those developer heads and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, a lot of people go through the back door for the first time with really low stat pets, and it takes them forever. And then you see people with newer stat pets complaining about it, how hard it was for them. And it's interesting. I haven't seen that one before, with it going perfectly perpendicular like that, but whatever. Yeah, I think the pets I went through backdoor with was like fluffs and stats, which isn't too bad. But it's technically worse than the current like best code pets at the same time, so it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely felt like a lot less time than I've actually put into it so far. Like even like the first like hour, I'd already done like 3, and I was like, where did that third one go? I kind of just went onto autopilot for it, and completely forgot it ever happened. I still do not know where that one came from. That was still surprising. I'm like, wait, I have this many keys? That doesn't even make sense. And then I looked at the time and it was like, oh, an hour's passed. I haven't actually done one extra. Yeah, I know, right? Sometimes it's, yeah. Oh, it looks like that's just kind of what it wants to do this time. Oh my, you're definitely right. 8-bit used to be like ridiculously high tier in terms of stats for like a few months. It was ridiculous. To think that 8-bit right now everyone considers worthless used to be really good. And then some of the stuff that used to be worthless, like the code stuff from around that time, is now like worth a ton just because people have hoarded it all. But yeah. Yeah, I know, right? A lot of people say that, and it's mostly just due to the fact that Ghost Simulator is very niche already, where Ghost Simulator deserves a lot more attention than it does currently. So that kind of just trickles down into how my content works. A lot of people think Ghost Sim's underrated that play Ghost Sim, and so basically anything that does Ghost Sim, like YouTubers and stuff, they're going to get that same trickle down underrated effect. Same style of content and stuff like that. But yeah. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people are surprised that I'm still so small. It has partly to do with Ghost Simulator, partly also to do with I'm not making like the best content for growing. I'm doing more of like the already grown content where you make quality content, versus like when you're first growing, you actually kind of want to make that kind of easy to make content that's really clickbaity-ish, to grow quickly. Whereas like once you're grown, you kind of want to make quality content so that people will enjoy your stuff. And I'm kind of just not clickbaiting and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that probably has some part to do with it too. Goodbye, Raphael. Hopefully you get done with some more grinding that you need to do. Yeah. Okay. Bye, Kyler. But yeah. It's going to be the, I think this is the 11th boss. So, yeah, I'm only planning on doing 16, so I'm over halfway done and getting close to that 3/4 of the way mark, which is about 3 hours. But yeah. What inspired you to do your YouTube channel? I did create it like 4 years ago, I think now. Basically. Yeah, it's just kind of something I wanted. I think everyone wants to start a YouTube channel. I just kind of did it because, you know, why not? See how it works. Have fun with it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what man, these pillars are obnoxious today. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things that everyone kind of wants to do is create a YouTube channel. So yeah. So it's probably the same reason why most people create YouTube channel, because they think it will be interesting and stuff. But yeah. It's more of really a hobby for me anyways. It's not like I'm trying to do this for like the popularity or like the actual monetization that a lot of people actually do like get full-time jobs out of it. But definitely a good question. I don't really know. I don't really remember too much of like the beginning of what I do. Like the first time playing Roblox, I really don't remember too much from that time period. I think that's the first time I haven't been pushed off these pillars like this stream, which is kind of weird to say. Actually, I think I have, but it's like I'm currently at like a 50-50 and getting pushed off of those pillars. It's not good. Not a good ratio. I don't really do care too much for like mini pets. Like even like the ghostly vision pets that have high stats, I don't care too much for them because they're just easy enough to get that literally everyone has them, and too high in stats for them to really be considered like good in my opinion. Like if you know what I mean. About something being so high in stats that it's not even good anymore. Like Cosmic Wing, for instance. Like if you compare Cosmic Wing's rarity compared to like Vex Flower, you can see that even then, like Cosmic Wing is like 6 times more common than Vex Flower. And so it's because of its stats, it's just worth just a little bit less to trade for than like a Vex Flower. But yeah, I'm not a fan of high stat pets. But yeah, or at least easy to get high stat pets, I should say. Something like Cloud Wave, it's worth it more than it is stat wise, so it is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, it's not really. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Why did I have no idea. Looks like we're going to be just focusing on that. We've got it, and yeah, the thing is with a lot of these attacks, once you get hit with one, it just makes it so much easier to get combat. Yeah, sometimes spelling when you're trying to type quick and get a message across quickly is just hard to do. Welcome back, Hawk. Welcome back to another stream. I think you've been like coming out to my streams for like a month now. It's ridiculous once you start getting up there in numbers. Like, At first you're like, oh, thank you for the first time, and then you realize, wait, this isn't like the first time anymore. It's like the month in or something. It's weird how time passes. Have you ever thought of making a Twitch channel? I don't think I'd ever stream on Twitch. Like, I mean, I could, but I think, man, how does that hit me? But like, I'm more comfortable with streaming on YouTube right now. Although I think it would make a little bit of sense since a lot of people do stream on YouTube, on Twitch, since it does make more sense. I think, but at the same time, I kind of just want to grow YouTube for now. But yeah, I would. Maybe I would. I already have like a Twitch account that I set up when I was like watching Twitch. I used to watch Twitch a little bit, but I don't think I'll ever like stream on it since it doesn't make sense for me, at least, to be this small and have like two things that people have to go figure out. Especially since I know myself, I really never liked being like trying to figure out what Twitch was. Like, having multiple ways to go find someone isn't always like the best, in my opinion. You're struggling. Maybe you need some more people. No, I think I'm doing pretty fine in terms of this final boss. I am getting hit a little bit more than I normally would be, but it's not too bad. It should be falling in about 20 seconds, I think, assuming we don't get hit by like every attack. And actually can like get up from attacks. All right. It should be falling shortly. Maybe not before this attack though. So let's chill, get away. What does bow gum do? I'm lost. Bow gum, it literally just turns you into a ghost for 2 minutes. It's only an aesthetic gum, similar to like the headless gum and the pumpkin gum from the 2020 Halloween event. So it just literally does nothing for you other than random aesthetic. Should be falling pretty shortly, probably around 5 more seconds. But yeah. I'm currently not accepting donations. Oh, I'm back from stream, from lunch. Okay. Yeah, and I think I saw you early, maybe, but maybe not. Probably not. Twitch is blocked here, so I can only watch streams already done. Yeah, yeah, I mean, that makes sense to an extent, not wanting, like, live. But, yeah. That's interesting. But, yeah. Do you have any tips on how to grind and get crate keys easily? Rebirth grinding, is really the only way to get crate keys. Since every rebirth you do, you can go back through quest lines that give crate keys. Like, each of the developer gives, like, a crate key. That's 5 crate keys. You also have random crate keys that you can get from other stuff. If you do Fern every rebirth, you can get 33 from there. So that's probably the best way to get crate keys, is just rebirth normally, like rebirth grind. Don't rebirth for the key hack pack, but like every rebirth you can do, you can get some crate keys from the quests that you do, like Ace, Fern, as I said. A lot of those quests. The other thing that you can do is Lucky Cats. The loot bags from Lucky Cats have the chance of giving you a crate key. So if you go grind for that, you can get some crate keys from there. Auto mount. I hate auto mounts of crates and stuff like that, so they kind of get evened out pretty quickly. Even though I only do get one lucky loot bag, I don't like having odd numbers. But yeah. How many keys have I gotten so far? Ooh, let me see. I was at 60 before, so I think I have 72, I think. I don't know exactly. Yeah, 72. Yeah, a lot of it is just grinding through rebirths and stuff like that. Not doing like all the quest lines like Blaze or Luna. Good pets make a deal, but 2 times items is probably the biggest thing that allows you to rebirth quickly, since that really does speed up the amount of items that you get in your antenna grind and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably the biggest one, is just having 2 times items, or loot gum if you want to just grind for it instead. Yeah, I think most people that play Ghost Simulator agree that it is probably the best game on Roblox currently, which is probably a very biased opinion, but also a very like actual solid opinion, since it gets updates regularly. It has good content, good communication with the players that play it. Very grindy, which is probably the reason why it doesn't get as many players as most people think it should, is just because of how much grindy it has, and so it only really appeals to people like me that like to grind. Whereas most people who don't have Robux and don't like to grind and just get put off by that fact. But yeah. I'm kind of running low on loot gums myself. Okay, no, I'm not. But I don't want to be like... No, I'm not running low. Sorry. That was not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is that I feel like you should be able to grind for them yourself pretty easily. It's actually a lot of fun to grind for stuff like loot gums for yourself. Especially if you're in the back door before rebirthing, you can grind like the last few areas of the back door. I kind of mentioned this every once in a while. But even if you don't have like 2 times items, you can actually make a net profit in terms of your gums, loot gums, just base loot gums, by just grinding. Even if you don't have like 2 times items, as I said, you can still make profit. So yeah, you can do that. But yeah, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing about Ghost Simulator, is it's quite underrated and stuff. Yeah. What's the best way to grind for loot gums? There's one of 2 things that you can do. You can either grind in the ice cave in the main hub, if you only care about basic gum. But if you want like glitchy loot gum, once you're done with like a rebirth, so where you're able to rebirth, go back to like the back door and into like as many of the last 4 areas as you want. I do all 4, but I can definitely see only being able to do 2 or 3. Just go through and vacuum up ghosts using loot gum, whatever you have, and then go and convert those items for glitchy gum. Yeah, I know tusks are probably, they're the easiest way, since they drop a lot and then they convert for a lot. But at the same time, it's probably better to just do backdoor, since that's glitchy gum, and glitchy gum is so much better than, it's 3 times better than basic gum. But yeah. Yeah, tusks are a really good way to do it. And then if you include, like, if you, you can easily go and do, at the same time you're grinding ice tusks, also go and do doubloons and the pearls from the other 2 areas, and then convert those items too, which are converted at a decent rate also. You can get quite a bit of gums pretty quickly if you're doing that strategy. I mean, you get a lot more gums that way. The problem is they're also 3 times worse, as I said, so might be, and you don't get quite as much good terms of currencies and like ectoplasm that way either. So yeah. Okay, goodbye, Raphael. Go have fun. Good luck grinding. Man. Thank you for the... Thank you. Anyways, let's see. This is about going to be the third end of the first 3 hours of this stream. So about an hour left in terms of grinding. Once I'm done with this boss. So 4 more bosses. Should I grind for Oblivion or Rainwave? Rainwave will be easier to get in terms of gems, but also harder to get since you'll have to spend more time unboxing. I would say probably Oblivion, since boards in general are cooler. Like everyone has a Rainwave, it feels like, but boards you can actually, like, you know, use, and boards are definitely, I would say, grind for boards. You have to spend less time unboxing in the end, so yeah. But you know, either one you want to get to would be fine. Hello, Zeb. How to grind advanced parts without loot gum? Just grind. There's not much you can do if you don't have loot gum. It might be quicker to go grind loot gum from, like, the areas, like, from main hub, from, like, Ice Tusk and stuff. I don't think it would be, but it would be at least a variation for you, if you want to go do that and then use the basic loot gum from there for grinding. But I would say just grind through it. If you need to and you have the Robux, I would recommend buying 2x items. But most people don't have the Robux to do that, so, yeah. I actually got the Sky Server earlier. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I got Sky Server and Feather Shock already. I've got them. Those are the only classifieds I've ever gotten. Sky Server I kind of grinded for, whereas Feather Shock I kind of just got it while I was trolling around with unboxing a lot of twin thrusters, because why not? Someone was thing it. Yeah, that's a lot of people don't have enough Robux to really buy game passes. Fortunately, for the most part, you can grind Ghost Simulator without it. I think 2x items is probably the only one that's a bit on the broken side in terms of you really need it to grind. Like all the other ones kind of are fine where they're at. But 2x items is a bit more broken since gum really stacks with gum and all that fun stuff. Man, where's my vacuum? But yeah, 24 basic, 12 ghost, 6 glitchy. Yeah. What do you think you would be doing right now if you had never found Ghost Simulator? I don't even know. Probably playing Minecraft. More. I'd probably be playing a lot more Minecraft. I don't even know how I found Ghost Simulator in the first place. I think it was just looking through the Simulator tab for, like, Roblox in general. I found it, but at the same time, it might have been it wasn't an event even. Like, I just kind of randomly found it. It was weird. Okay. Ooh, I got a bit living. Yeah, at some point, I really need to go for all those, every classified. It might take a while, but I think with the amount of gems I have, I think I can get, up to Sunny. Currently, might do a stream for that, seeing how good the update is for, I'll see. But yeah. What's the best way to get boss chests? Trading loot bags for them. I don't really think you need to get the boss chests. They really aren't useful at all. Like, there's nothing you can get in them. So I would say just kind of chill out, server hop and stuff like that if you need to grind for bosses, instead of trading. I really don't recommend really trading in Ghost Simulator. There's not too much profit, and there's a lot to be lost. But yeah. Yeah, no, definitely an auto delete option. There's a mass delete, and I think that's the best thing I think mass delete is all there should be. I don't think there should be an auto delete feature for unboxing. I think that would break the game. But yeah. Yeah, tomorrow, the update for tomorrow is going to be really interesting. just from the little bit I've heard from like Mackie and stuff, she said she's killing off like half the NPCs. I think she's looking for new perks to be add. So we might see more additions to rebirths, or even just a new NPC with another perk. The lore for Rebirth NPC and the green hologram ghost have actually, I'm 90% sure they've been uncovered by one of the community members on Discord. They realized that the overlap there fits really well with the mention of Joker and Alice, originally supposed to be Bo and Shelly in the Void dialogue. But yeah, there's an update tomorrow for Ghost Simulator. Oh man, that was wrong camera angle for those. What NPC die? I need to go look for the picture, but literally Mackie asked in the main chat of the Bloxbite Discord for a list of all the current NPCs, and then said something about Thanosing a few of them. So that'll be interesting. Oh, yeah, it's a very, very, it's not really, it's a lot more, the lore part of it just makes it so much more than a simulator to most people. Definitely agree. Did you say they're getting rid of half the NPCs? Probably not half, probably some more like 3 to 4, knowing Mackie, but it could be up to half of the NPCs could just get, got rid of, but that's what Mackie said. Might not be this update, probably, but one of the next 3 updates that's going to happen. And Mackie has been talking about. Actually, Mackie said that the next 3 updates are going to be pretty fire. Coven mentioned that the next update is going to be a big one because she asked Royal, one of the developers, to work on fixing the final boss since it's a bit laggy, to optimize it a bit more. And to only do that once they got onto once they weren't working on a big update. I hope they're useless. Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what they do if they're killing off NPCs. This could be very bad if all the ghosts stack up on me. Actually, nah, it's not too bad. It's when the audio starts glitching that you know the game's going bad. Okay, there we go. There you go. Got rid of all the ghosts. No more lag. Bye. Gotta see you soon. Highest. Okay. Goodbye, Flower. Stay safe. On Xbox, I can't even hear the music from Final Boss. I don't know why, though. That's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you could have your settings turned off, I guess. But I'd guess it's some sort of bug of some sort. Oh, no. Okay, whatever. We can live without that. Without using a boss gun this time. We've already lived without it twice Elder, so it's not going to hurt a big deal. But yeah. What's your pet team right now? It's the same as it's been for like the last few months. Or at least the last month. Currently, it's just 3 Oculus over. I always say Ocular. It's Mini Final, Mini Dutchman, and Mini King. Actually, they're getting higher leveled. I did not realize all my Oculus were level 11 already. That's pretty cool. My Mini Final is getting close to level 15. And yeah. In terms of cosmetics, though, I do have all the purples. Nice little purples. A Puggle, because it's somewhat purple. Silk Weaver, since it's kind of the only thing I have left from Halloween 2019. Since I've wasted basically everything else. Actually, I just remembered that I did trade for like a Tabby Witch. So I do now have a. Okay, my inventory is sorted wrongly. To go look for that right now, but I do have a Tabby Witch now, which I can flex. And then Snowflake, because level 0 stuff is cool. But yeah, I go back to rarity. Let's switch back over to it so I can easily go and find my stuff. But yeah, final. It gives me a decent amount of. Wow, that was a snipe. Yeah, final boss definitely does give a lot of XP for grinding, so that's pretty good. Yeah, all mega bosses give like 250 or 150 or something XP. It's not quite as good as grinding like the bow boss, since that bow boss is so much quicker. It's like 3 minutes to do that versus 15 minutes to do this, so it's 5 times quicker to grind the bow boss. But it's a decent source of XP. But yeah. I'm grinding Lucky Cats as we speak. Yeah, grinding Lucky Cats is... It's definitely underrated, I think. The fact that it gives both crate keys, a decent amount of gems for some people, and also the chance for pets is pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah. The pets are probably the best part of it. I gotta go. Good stream. Hi. Thank you, Zeb. Good luck. Let's see. Yeah, I'm planning about streaming about another hour or so, depending on how these last few bosses work. Probably around 4 more bosses. Maybe just one less. So we end on closer to an hour mark. And since I don't really see myself needing to do anything, wanting to do another boss after that. So yeah, probably just 3 more bosses and then calling it good. But yeah, that's still another 45 minutes away. So you guys don't need to worry too much. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, when you open just one thing and something and actually get something good, that's really cool. I mean, it's not too rare, but it's cool nonetheless. Since, I mean, technically if you converted all your gum one at a time, you'd have so many instances of getting one boss gum in one gum. And if you'd probably have an example of getting a rift gum in one gum too, if you stuck at it for a long enough time. I'm back. How many blocks by keys again? 74, I think. I'm not quite exactly sure. Maybe as much as 80. 80 would be max, I think, though. I'm not quite sure anymore. It's been a while since I last checked. Yeah, 74. We'll have 80 after this, and then 86, and then ending off with 92. Does boss gum work on bow? Yes, but please don't use it. It's a 3-minute boss fight. In sense for the maximum efficiency for grinding gum is about 20 minutes per a glitchy boss gum. Since glitchy boss gum gives you 4 times drops, it gives you basically 3 free drops. So it's 20 minutes. Since it gives you basically 3 free boss fights of bow, that's 9 minutes that you save. So you basically waste 11 minutes by grinding a boss gum and then doing bow with it, or a glitchy boss gum. And if you compare that to like the 15-minute of the final, where it's a 15-minute, so 3 bosses from final that you save would be equal to 45 minutes of time save, where you save actually 25 minutes per glitchy boss gum that you grind rather than just playing the boss. Please don't be using glitchy boss gum on anything other than final currently. On the wiki, yeah, that's interesting. I think I should go remove that then. I don't think we should have wiki shouldn't have too much information on people doing journeys and like stuff like that. But yeah, I think at some point I might get 1,000 keys from a decent amount of keys from the final boss just to go spend on like something like the small chance of getting like a classified cloud wave. But yeah. I would guess user error. It's a little bit harder to figure out how to use gum on bow, since it just dies so quickly. There's not really too much of a time to use it. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend. It's already a scam using it in the first place. So getting scammed out of 3 keys is not too big of a deal. That's like 9 minutes you lost there, in terms of keys. He like posted it. Oh yeah, okay. There are some people doing like blogs and stuff. Hopefully nothing on the pages. Pages should be clean of user info. But yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who do grind for small tasks like that. There was someone a few days ago, like a week or two ago, who was doing a challenge grind. The Ninja Wars, the top leaderboard person. He got 1.4 trillion in a day of ectoplasm, which is ridiculously. That's like a 24-hour grind, he was saying. So yeah, there's people that do challenges like that for things. So that's pretty cool that someone was trying to get 1,000 keys. But yeah, I think I'll probably be chilling at probably will end my final grind around 500 keys, block spike keys, since that's all I really think I will be doing in terms of over the summer, because that's going to be close to like 20 hours worth of playing, and so yeah. Oh, my summer vacation started today. That's awesome. Yeah, summer vacation is always awesome. Even when you're like getting up to like college, summer vacation's still pretty awesome. Oh, okay. If it was just the basic boss gun, that's not even too much of an issue. That's like 3 minutes you lost. Even less of a matter. Yeah, don't be using gum on bow. It's not worth it in the end. Do you have a glitch where the ghost says that you vacuumed it, but it's not technically there? I don't know exactly what you mean. I'm assuming you're talking about the glitch that's been happening for like 2 years now, where ghosts just disappear after you vacuum them. And so you have to, or they don't disappear after you vacuum them. They stay where they are when you vacuum them, so their model stays there, and then they don't reappear visually, but they still are just sort of chilling there. I'm assuming you're talking about that one, and if you are, you can easily fix that by zooming in all the way. Although I'm hesitant. I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, though. So yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. You're talking about that glitch. Yeah, it's if you vacuum a ghost and there's a lot of lag, the model will just sort of chill there, but the ghost itself will be gone, and so its hitbox won't be there, but it'll visually appear to be there. You can fix that by zooming in all the way for whatever reason fixes it, but yeah, it's a weird glitch. It happens a lot, very common, very annoying, needs to be fixed, but yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one. Since you can fix it yourself, it's not too big of an issue, although most people find it annoying. And it definitely, I feel like it should have been fixed a long time ago. Although, to be fair, it could be a Roblox error with like loading the models and deloading models and stuff like that, rather than anything else. But I don't know. Yep, still part of that same glitch. Model, it stays invisible. You need to zoom in to find it. Really annoying. Something to do with models loading, and stuff like that. Probably a Roblox centered glitch with the lag. But yeah, Ghost Simulator is not the most optimized game ever. Part of that's just due to how Roblox in general works. Optimization's not too much of part of Roblox developing, I don't think. Unless you're like a really big game where you absolutely need to have it optimized as much as possible so you can actually have people playing it. But yeah. But yeah, it's probably the most annoying glitch that happens in Ghost Simulator. I think there's a lot of other ones, like the extreme lag spikes that you get every once in a while. I had a lot of those really early on this stream. Haven't had any of them since, but yeah, those can get really annoying. Yeah, Ghost Simulator in general is not the most bug-free game in the world. Yeah, it's part of it has to do with Roblox, part of it has to do with they need to worry about, they're doing like updates every 2 weeks, so they don't really have too much time to worry about like bugs and stuff, especially when they're easy to patch and or hard to patch and don't affect too much. I just finished the story dialogue like 2 days ago. I've been playing the game since October 19th, and I usually won't play 1 to 2 hours each day, each for a few days. I've never used GOMs because they didn't exist yet. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that have played since the beginning that just haven't like grinded it like a lot of other people, and so they're kind of just slowly catching up, working on dialogue and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people like that. But yeah, definitely pretty common. Not having GOM is pretty common. Yeah, but getting done with the lore for the first time is really cool. Takes a lot of grinding, especially if you read it all. It's actually really cool to see what all the lore is. I think we finally, there's finally not anything that I know we're missing in terms of lore on Ghost Simulator, since someone did finally figure out who Rebirth NPC and the green ghosts are from the Rebirth update. I think that was finally figured out, and so there's really nothing left in terms of lore that is left to uncover. About 3 more shots on the boss. But yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Maybe a bit more than 3 shots, but shouldn't be any more than like 2 shots now. But yeah. Oh, actually, the theory about the Rebirth Boy. Yeah, I mean, theories are good, but I think someone like 3 or 4 days ago now made a really good connection. He's the real character of the game. Yeah, real creator or hacker man. Actually, the best philosophy I've heard on that one, and I think the solution that I'm going to go with, is that it's in the void dialogue of Mackie, the developer Mackie. She mentions Joker and Alice were originally supposed to be Bo and Shelly, respectively. Like, those were like supposed to be like the characteristics they would take on. But since like the game evolved, people got conscious, like they kind of switched from that. I thought that was just kind of meaning that was the original intent for like the story of the game. Like, Bo is supposed to be a Joker, but someone actually theorized that since the parallel universes with like Tonya, Reed, and all those other things coming into Ghost Simulator, and that being like considered an alternate reality, along with that alternate reality, like there's alternate versions, an alternate version of this game that the Bo from that one, which is the original, like still the original Joker, and Alice or Shelly from that timeline or alternate reality are actually Bo/Joker would be this Rebirth NPC, since Bo actually really would fit kind of that Rebirth NPC, except for the fact that Rebirth NPC is a little bit too mysterious and obviously evil, whereas Bo is like, he is somewhat evil, but you also know he's just kind of doing that as a pretend thing. So having an alternate version of Bo would make a lot of sense as that Rebirth NPC, and so having Joker fit there. And then Shelly in her dialogue thinks that she's a ghost throughout her dialogue in the ghost world. So her being a ghost from an alternate reality and that fitting the green ghost hologram that would appear makes so much sense. So I think that's the probably almost definitely the solution to the thing. But yeah, that makes the most sense for that's the best theory I've seen, and I think that's the theory is correct. Like 95% sure that's the correct theory for the solution of who Rebirth NPC and the green ghost are. Yeah, you turn into the green hologram. I think that's more of just a ghost gum. But yeah. Yeah, Bo, a lot of the theories early on were like, Bo is the Rebirth NPC, which doesn't make too much sense since Rebirth NPC, very mysterious. Very, very mysterious, and also at the same time, you know that he's kind of evil, since he is so mysterious. Whereas, like, Bo, every time Bo is, like, creating an army or has generals and stuff, he doesn't want it to be destroying stuff. Like, even with Meep, that was one of his, like, generals for his, ghost army, and he didn't want it rampaging. And at the same time, he obviously is building an army, obviously wants the player to think he's evil, where he's actually quite not evil. So I don't think Bo worked that well. But like an alternate version of Bo, that would fit very good, very nicely into the thing, and it makes tons of sense. Yesterday I found a glitch where the Guardian boss in Ghost World was doing the power of grabbing you that he can avoid by leaving hoverboard, and he grabbed me and I just knocked him out. Oh yeah. If once the boss dies, he won't do that attack anymore, which is really good for avoiding it if you get unlucky enough to get grabbed. And definitely a really good way to avoid it. Since, I mean, even if you are off your hoverboard, you usually don't end up dodging the attack half the time anyways. It's a really weird attack, but yeah, it's definitely annoying. Yep, random green holograms. Oh, every event actually has said a lot of his backstory. Like the first Halloween event, told how he became a ghost hunter. He was originally named like Bobbert or something, and then he was kind of snooping around and stole some ghost hunter who was like lying down, vacuum and pack for himself, and became a ghost hunter himself. And then he started like growing armies and stuff, and cares about like ghosts and stuff. All that information is in like the from each of the events that he's featured in. If you read his dialogue from those events, he actually reveals a lot of his backstory from them. Yeah, he became, for the Void, to stop the developers and the NPCs from fighting and destroying the game, he decided to make them all fight him, so they'd unionize together and figure out all their differences, which it kind of shows that he really, even though he is creating a giant army and all this fun stuff, he's kind of just doing it to do it, not really to be evil or anything. So yeah, yeah. Wasn't there like a bow pet in Thanksgiving? Yeah, both the Thanksgiving events have had a bow pet and a bow quest line. Golden turkey and then turkey bow. So yeah, those do exist. There's actually a lot of bow pets. I think we're up to like 10, at least 9, I think. Bow pets, which is definitely a lot. The only event that I haven't played bow in is the 2000 or the first like dinosaur event with bow, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah. But that I should be going down soon. Probably has like 5 more hits left on it. But yeah. How much RAM does your PC have? I don't know really statistics for like my computer. It's actually a decent amount, I think. I think like 8, I would guess. But I'm not really the person who knows all my computer statistics and specs and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think it's a pretty standard middle tier laptop. So not like absolutely terrible, but like not too good where I will be able to run 60 FPS. I'm running like 20 to 30 FPS on most games. Probably a little bit on the lower end while streaming, but yeah. Enough to run decently. But yeah. A lot better than the first computer I was using for videos. I think some of my older videos have me running on, like, playing Minecraft on, like, 3... I used to play Minecraft with, like, a 3 render distance. Yeah, that was not worthwhile. Blocks fruits. Oh, interesting. I'm not really too much into popular games, since usually they end up making bad mistakes and killing themselves pretty quickly. And also, I don't know. I don't like following trends, I guess. But yeah. I spent like 30 minutes trying to figure out how much mine has yesterday, and it has 8 gigabytes. Okay, yeah, that's probably where mine's at too. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, 8 gigabytes seems to be pretty standard nowadays. But yeah. Okay. I think, yeah, that I maybe, but I'm not really too much into like doing games just for the views. Like more popular games. Like if I'm going to go create random content, I'm going to create content I want to create rather than worrying about how many views I'll get from it. Like there are videos on my channel that have there used to be videos on my channel that had 0 views. I think you guys have gone through and gotten rid of all those at this point. I think we're down to like videos that only have 3 views. But yeah, there's been times I've created content with like that only got like 0 views in the first like 5 months. So that I don't know how much did I shoot this red eye before? Okay, a decent amount. But yeah. Yeah, Xbox's consoles like that usually have a lot better statistics. But the thing is, they're a lot more specific purposed statistics, so they don't really compare as well to like a PC. Whereas with a PC, you can do a lot more, just because it's multi-purposeful rather than just being like a console where you can only like literally play games or very slowly do other things. But yeah. Yeah, one day I decided to watch your first videos to see how it changed. Yeah, my content has definitely changed a lot since the first few videos I've made. It's very interesting to see how, looking at like my history of creating content, like this year, like literally this year, my content has finally started to get decent quality. I hit like 100 subs earlier this year. Also this year, I started doing voice on my stuff, which really helps out content. I started creating good videos instead of just one-shot take videos on random content. But yeah. Oh, grief, that's hot. Yeah, the weather around where I am is usually very temperate. Like, we don't even have AC. But, like, seriously, I can't imagine living in someplace that hot. It just sounds horrible. But yeah. That just, grief. Yeah, that's pretty warm. I mean, I'm not a Celsius. I live in the USA, so I'm absolutely ignorant to, you know, common forms of measurement like Celsius or meters. But like, all I know is Fahrenheit and, you know, feet. Like, you know, most people hear it. It's so dumb. But yeah. Oh, it's extremely dusty. Ouch. Yeah, dust is hard. I don't like dust. Dust is bad. But my first dev head was Coven K because it's the coolest. Oh yeah, Coven. That was definitely the first ones I went for, was the stuff from Coven K. I got a lot of Tatoes, Coven K head, Coven K board, all that fun stuff from that crate. It's definitely really cool. Definitely my favorite dev. She does a lot of the community stuff. She's actually on YouTube and does actually better content than me, since she can actually, you know, knows how to do transitions and knows how to do YouTube in general, not just streaming random stuff and hoping people like it, like someone else I know. But yeah. Oh, yeah, grinding for classifieds, even if you already have that classified, can be really cool. Wow, we actually did not get hit by that. That's a surprise. A welcome one, but, you know. Does it snow where you live? Actually, yeah, it does snow where I live. This year it didn't snow too much. I think we got a total of, like, maybe a foot or two, where I live. But, like, last year we had, like, 2 feet all at, like, once. And school was like closed for a week. It was pretty weird. But yeah, it snows where I live. Live up in Washington. So Washington State of U.S. So it's decently south or north. Man, I'm bad at directions. But yeah. I need to go use a boss scum really quick. I think one more fight after this and that'll be the end of the stream. But yeah. I've always wanted to see snow, and the closest thing I've ever got is when ice in the freezer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes the different places, it's definitely interesting to see the differences. Like, people that only live in, like, the warm weather, they're like, oh, I want to see snow. And yet people that live in the snow, they usually get a lot of rain, too. So they're like, I don't want this rain. I'd rather just have the warmer weather. It's interesting to see the differences in how people have it, but yeah. Only weather is burn. Man. Yeah, that's yeah. A lot of things have been burning recently. That's a big problem, I think. Like, Australia's burned recently, like, every year. California, we've had some fires here in Washington. Oregon's had a few. But yeah, forest fires are pretty big problem. No, you never really can win when it comes to weather. Like, even when it's temperate, it's like temperate, you're like, oh, this is cool, and you're like, but at the same time you're like, it's not too big of a deal. Oh, that's great. Yeah, there's some things. I like how the camera just pans from, like, who knows where to all the way over here. Hey, look, we're still spinning. But yeah. I was mad with Sky Surfer. Yes, getting some of the classifieds, you can get pretty lucky and get them, which is really awesome when it happens. But the other times you just kind of try forever and end up not getting it, which is really disappointing. Spoiler alert. I am planning on releasing a video in the next week on how to get, like, those low tier classifieds. A decent way to get them, at least. Maybe not a full comprehensive guide, but should be at least able to get a few of you guys know how to start getting classifieds. It's not the best video in the world, but yeah. It's something I've planned. Probably next week while I'm on vacation I'll release it. I still need to get, like, a thumbnail for it, but yeah. When it hailed, oh man, yeah, hail is weird. I was at a wedding on last week, I think, and it was supposed to be a really bad day. Like, it was supposed to, like, be, like, raining the whole day, and, like, minutes before it started, it just started hailing for whatever reason in the middle of it, and everyone's just confused. And then, like, a minute after it started hailing, it stopped. and then the clouds cleared and it didn't rain at all for the rest of the day. It was like, what is the weather being like today? Yeah, the weather in the last few years has just been getting progressively weirder and weirder. Really warm and burning during the summer, and really cold and random snowstorms during the rest of the time. This is ridiculous. Oh boy, 127 Fahrenheit. I don't. Ooh, that's ridiculously hot. I don't think I think the hottest it's ever been in like Washington where I am is like 110. Which, I mean, it's not too much of a difference there, but like that's still a pretty big difference. Yeah, sometimes hail hurts, depending on what size it is. Usually it's pretty small and just, you know, does nothing. But yeah, it's sometimes it can be pretty big hail. I've heard, but not too common. Yeah. Fortunately, they're usually small enough that their terminal velocity is minimal. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, sometimes hot weather just destroys things. You reached 440 subs. Yeah, I know. That's pretty ridiculous. Sometimes these streams just shoot in popularity. Yeah, that just I don't like hot weather. I don't think anyone really enjoys hot weather after like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And yet it happens. Yeah, that's a problem. Definitely annoying, hot weather. But yeah, very interesting. But yeah. I definitely prefer to stay inside anyways. It just unsubscribed me. Yeah, I think I've heard that YouTube can get a little bit annoying with like the subbing people randomly. I don't know exactly why it would do that, but apparently it does. Why YouTube? Yeah, who knows? Who even knows what YouTube is doing half the time? Like, its algorithm is, no one really understands it anymore. It just kind of does whatever it wants to do. But yeah, yeah, introverts. I'm definitely so much of an introvert in some respects. Like, I don't care for other people. Like, I mean, people are important, but at the same time, I would rather just stick to myself. Yeah. But that man, some things are a bit ridiculous. I wonder if I'm wondering if that laser will ever get changed. Probably not, seeing how it's been this way for about a year now. Even though it really doesn't affect too much, since corruption isn't really a thing, so all you have to worry about is time, and usually most people have additional time. Like, I think the worst I've ever had is like 30 seconds left, which has happened like 3 times, I guess, but you know, this stream alone. But yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Sometimes going there for a trip is a lot different than moving there. I know moving can be a pretty big hassle, especially cross countries. Like, even moving within your same country can be annoying. But moving cross countries is just so much more of a hassle, I've heard. So yeah, good luck with that. You'll definitely need a little bit of struggle there. Yeah, that more or less summed up that event. It was a very strange event. It was a very strange event. I think I like the ridiculousness of it. But, you know. Definitely a lot better than the theme-fitting Halloweens and Christmas events that we usually get, where we have, normal-looking bosses and all stuff like that. But yeah. I grinded for 2 color splits. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, getting those multiple of some things are pretty cool. Probably using loot gum really helped me, especially already having game passes, so I already got double items, and then using glitchy loot on top of that, I was able to basically get infinite emeralds, and I ended up just kind of converting more than half of them, instead of buying lots of things. Like, even then I already was able to get like 4 sets of each of the 4 sets of the hoverboards, basically 5 of everything from the pet crate. I was doing fine in terms of emeralds, but like people who can't get emeralds ridiculous quick because they don't have all the game pass and stuff, they can definitely grinding for those stuff when you don't have that is really, really satisfying. How do you grind for so long? Part of it's me streaming. It really distracts me. Autopilot. I'm autopiloting basically since like the second boss I was doing. It's been basically on full autopilot. I haven't really been thinking at all about what I was been doing, other than remembering to use a boss gum at the last time. But yeah, it's been basically autopilot. The stream's entertaining enough to keep my attention there. Making sure you have a little bit of water nearby can help too. But yeah. Can you get a rift gum from the event gumball machines? You could have if you got lucky enough. Same rarity as before though, so you aren't really expected to get anything like that. I haven't even gotten a rift gum yet. I hope I get one soon, since I really need to test out those gem multipliers, since no one has done that yet. Like, seriously, people. But yeah. Do you think, if you've never found Ghost Simulator? I mean, for sure. With Ghost Simulator, this is the first game I've ever done, like, community stuff. I got really involved in the community. It helped my YouTube a lot. At the same time, I also learned how to, socialize. On Discord, at least. In a way. Otherwise, I would just continue to lurk everywhere and never paid attention to chats. I wouldn't have found half the people I actually like friends of mine anymore. So yeah, it's definitely would have been a lot different. What does Rift Gum do? It actually multiplies the gems you get by a ridiculous amount of things, which is really good for like opening anonymous loot bags. Since you get like 50 to 150 to 250 or so multiplying amount of gems from those loot bags, which is really helpful. As you can guess, getting if you have like 1,000 anonymous loot bags stored up, instead of getting like 20,000 from each loot bag and getting like, 20 million gems, you can get like close like 500,000 from each loot bag and get close to 5 billion gems. Yeah, it's a bit of a difference there. It's not exactly 1K. I don't think it's 1K. I'm pretty sure it's closer to 150 multiplier. If the wiki says otherwise, it's probably wrong. No one's tested the gem multiplier exactly, so no one knows exactly what it is. With the loot bag tests, the results have revealed that a glitchy loot or glitchy rift is about 150 multiplier, which isn't anywhere close to that 1,000 that most people say it is. Definitely don't be. And they haven't nerfed Rift Gum. Rift Gum has not been nerfed. The only thing that has been nerfed in regards to Rift Gum is the fact that anonymous loot bags stop being able to have a good multiplier with gems. So instead of having like the full gem multiplier, they only multiplied it by like a radical of that or something. So like the square root of it instead. So it was like 10 to 100 times less effective or something. But yeah. Yeah. Other than that, the anonymous still works with it perfectly fine, which is what most people use. And then if you want, you can also use Jolly Roger. I think that's the last boss I'm doing. I'm going to chill over here, grab a boss gum. And yeah, I think that's the last one. Yeah. The wiki says the glitchy riff gum is... People, seriously, you need to stop changing this. I'm going to lock this page if people continue to change those multipliers. Okay. Currently the multipliers are still what I put them at, which is question mark 50, 100, and 150. I know it has said before in the past 100, 1,000, 10,000, which is not correct. I can 100% say that's not correct. But yeah, there's a lot of random wrong information on the wiki, and that just gets added there by random people. But yeah. What about the Lucky Loot Bag? Lucky Loot Bag's also nerfed with, similar to Anomaly with gem multipliers. I think I can show you guys really quick right now. But like normally you get like between 1,000 and like 50,000 gems from here. As you see, I got on the high end there. Whereas like if I use a glitchy gem gum, you know, if I can ever use a gum since I'm currently on a boss gum. If you unbox it with like gem gum, you only get like 10% to 20% better or something like that. So it's kind of just nerfed there. Looks like we can't quite zoom in, which is annoying. I was wanting to glitch out of the map. Reef. I want to glitch out of the map. Okay. Alright. I guess we'll just... No, I can't turn on shift lock. Shift lock doesn't exist in this. But yeah. You own the wiki? No, I do not own the wiki. I'm just one of the more important staff there. And so I'm one of the people that actually plays a lot and actually does manage the wiki. So I'm usually the person that has to make sure that like the stats stay correct and stuff like that. Which is rather than worrying about any. I definitely don't do too much on the wiki other than making sure that random false information doesn't get inserted. Since I do play Ghost Simulator a bit more than some of the other wiki staff people. Did we get out? We almost got out. But yeah. I'm part of the wiki staff. It's not really, I don't own the wiki. That gum thing's one of the big things I've wanted to make sure is changed. It looks like our gum has popped, so I can show you guys that if I do use a glitchy gem gum, you'd be expecting me to get like 4 times the amount of gems, which I peaked at like 72,000, which is not 4 times more than the range. I mean, with the giant range of Lucky Loot Bags, you could just argue maybe you're not getting the higher amounts, but still only getting 70,000 as my max. You'd think I would have got something higher than 70,000, but yeah. Lucky Loot Bag is kind of nerfed with... Yeah, the wiki used to say that. It's just one of those things that people used to think is so ridiculously overpowered. It is still pretty ridiculously overpowered, but it got kind of exaggerated. Like if you like how I just did that. If I open some anomaly ones, you can see I'm getting like 100,000s, 90,000s from there. Whereas once my gum expires in like 60 seconds, you'll see that it isn't 4 times originally less than that. So the multipliers is kind of just nerfed once you get more of it, which I'm pretty sure is just kind of a square root of your multiplier instead of the multiplier itself. Whereas if you compare this to like the anonymous, you get the full gem multiplier from using gums and gem multipliers and stuff like that. Yeah. That's how Rift Gums has been nerfed with Anomaly and Lucky Loot Bags, so it doesn't do the full multiplier, it instead does a little bit less. But yeah. see if you get the end of the stream. I guess sure. We'll go do some anonymous. As you can see, 70,000 from there. Getting some of the rares, but yeah. Grim doesn't matter too much. Like, if I go back to anomaly now, before I got it like 100,000, you can still see I'm getting close to that amount anyways, without using it. It's 50 to 70,000, compared to 90 to 100,000. You can see it's not even double yet, when I was using 4 times gum. So yeah. Ooh, that was good. Yeah, I want to open an even amount. That's a lot of crate keys I just got. That was a lot of crate keys. I just got 5 crate keys from 12 crates. That's a pretty good ratio. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's all the grinding I'll be doing this stream. Thank you, everyone who came out. It was definitely a very productive stream in terms of grinding, and also a lot of people came out and asked a lot of questions. The wiki shows that there's 7 staff members. Yeah, there's not too many people, although a lot of people do help. So a lot of the content moderators are really do a lot of work. There's also a lot of anyone can edit, so a lot of other people that aren't staff do a lot of work too, which is awesome. But yeah, you got 92 blocks by keys, pretty close to 100. Would have been closer to 100 if I hadn't forgotten to use boss gum 3 times, but whatever. But yeah. Thank you everyone who showed up. You've been very nice. And yeah, that's the end of the stream. Hopefully at some point I get enough blocks by keys to do a video again, similar to the one I did recently. But yeah, stay safe.